See, I never really know quite how to do this.
What
So,
do you mean?
well, it's good that I've kept the professionalism of the overall setup very low
Yeah.
because it just dumps you right out of this very so short. If I spent more time, I could make it longer, but I want to keep this as low energy as possible when it
I
comes
don't think
to.
you're fishing for this, but I'm gonna say I love the abruptness of it. I love jumping right into it. It feels immediate, visceral, alive,
There's no
Ken.
preamble.
No,
There's no long lead
no
in.
pretense, you
No,
know?
no, it's just this is it. This is what it is. For anyone who
Yep.
hasn't been here, this is Open Chat, which is a spinoff from my other show, which was a long way of justifying my buying too much stuff during the pandemic as a way to salve emotional wounds that were opened up during that trying time, which may not be over. I know what I think. I know where I'm at. I'm
Uh-oh.
still here having a live show. So this is a spin-off of that where I have a guest on while I open up the stuff that's taking up too much room packaged. And it's fun to enjoy the stuff that I've
Yes, it
got.
is. I love that
So
you're opening it up. It feels very liberating.
yeah, I mean it's what it might well just leave it in the store if you're gonna leave it packaged. Just leave it on a shelf in a store for someone else to have
Yeah.
the joy of opening up. If you're just gonna leave it in a bin or in storage.
I have no position on either either of those things, whether to unpack or except my emotional decision, which would be when I buy something, I want to play with it. And that's about as close as I come to.
Yeah, so you're an opener.
I'm an
I've
opener.
bought this to enjoy this thing.
100%.
You're not
If
an
I haven't
investor.
opened it, it's because I forgot I had it. That's the only reason.
Yeah, you're not. This isn't a long-term investment. This is not something that your financial advisor has urged you to get into. Is the collectibles market, which is a safe and
No.
sound place to put your money. We have
No.
learned over the past 20 years.
If Beanie Babies have taught us anything, it's
I'm still sitting on a crate of Cabbage Patch dolls, which I know are going to go through the roof at any point now. Inquiries are welcome
oh
and
my
would be
god.
surprising. Brian Bradley, thank you
Yes.
for
Thanks
joining.
I'm so happy to
Brian
be
is an
here.
amazing writer. Go look up his IMDb. Go look at the things. You know what? In fact, I've got one of your more recent things. I need to reach over
Uh-oh.
because I did not stage this entirely properly.
That's
But
fine.
look what they sent me,
Oh, look at that.
which
Star
is
Trek Lower
released
Decks.
in the sort of sub-resolution standard DVD.
like a
with a
DVD
Blu-ray.
you bought on the corner of a street, like a cheap. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, oh, it's this is actually Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, and they've just written Lower Decks and Puff Pen, I think, on here.
Yeah, that was our movie for that season.
Yeah, it's very weird. I don't know if this is an internal marketing thing where they go, well, if we don't sell the HD, then they'll have to turn to the streaming service for that. But here's the standard definition.
I'll tell you what,
features.
We couldn't even get like I couldn't even get a free T-shirt from the. So,
and this has the shirt club. Are they still doing the shirt club for Lower Deck?
Yeah, I think so.
As inspired by the Venture
like,
Brothers.
Hey, you usually write on a show or something, you get a little gift or
like
something.
A crew gift.
Yeah, I think we may have gotten something, but like I think what I remember there was like, hey, I remember one day in the room that were like, oh, hey, we've been sent some of the designs and we want to hear what the writers think, and they really don't, but they had some of the designs, and I was like, oh, some of these are kind of cool. I think I'd like to have like maybe that Mugatu one, like I think those are pretty good. But then I'm like, okay, cool, can I get one of those? And they're like, yeah, if you want to buy one. I'm like, wait a minute,
the discount or anything?
Yeah, there was like a really bad discount, like not even a good discount. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what was happening at the Mount, on the Mount. But
well, for anyone who wants to watch, I mean, I will say it is worth it for the audio commentaries on the episode. So at least there are some bonus features that make the standard definition worth tolerating.
Gosh, that's so funny that that's even exists. How is that? Why do you have who has the who wants to watch standard definition of
I
any?
just got an announcement today for HBO, put out the press release that they're
Right.
releasing the complete Succession
Oh,
in standard definition
yum, yum,
in
yum.
regular DVD.
But what is
The
it
complete
more? Is
box
it less
set.
expensive? I don't know. I think it's a button. I think it's a button on the Avid or something for the output. I don't think it's like, we got to put more definition juice into the
The
machine.
manufacturing can't be that much different this
No.
far into the life of Blu-ray.
Well, this is where we're at with this is what happened with the streaming business. Now they're cutting corners anywhere they can.
It's so weird to get this. It feels like time travel.
Yeah.
To get
It's
the
so
old
funny.
school the big box. I also like that. Well, we don't need
It's
inserts.
so thick.
So just take the disc out if you want to see.
It looks like my
what's on
dad made that copy on his old computer. Like it's when you
Like
had
this should be
a
Sharpie
CD
on
burner.
here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or one of those printable labels that you can put it in the desk jet to print on. And,
Yeah.
oh, look, it looks. I mean, it's super pixelated, but it looks professional, right?
It looks so good. It's so pro.
That's how you know it's quality homemade product.
That's so funny. to
Artisanally
me.
crafted by a staff that the love shows on screen, even if it doesn't show in the product that the company put out to support it.
Yes, I think the love does show on screen, but only in standard definition, unfortunately.
You know what? You lose some of the love in translation to home video.
Yeah.
So if you want
That's true.
physical media, the love isn't quite as sharp as it would be otherwise.
Gosh,
But
I tell you what, that is so funny. I have some friends to tell that to soon.
I mean, but
that's a good one.
But you can be out there signing this. Audrey
I could
can be out there signing that.
She can. That's right. She should be. God bless her.
Speaking of your amazing partner from Geek Girl Authority, if people aren't familiar with Audrey Kearns, so they should be.
Yep.
But you part of Star Trek lore now.
Yeah, I mean, when I got that job on season 3 of that of Lower Decks, I was like, first of all, I was really excited, just to always excited to be working. Number one, second of all, excited to be working on something. It was a cross section of like, I always write comedy stuff, so like and I am a huge Star Trek fan, and Star Trek is a huge part of my wife and I's relationship. I don't know why I'm laughing about it, but it's the truth. It's one of the ways we got together, and it's something that we really share. So it's like, it was very, very exciting to be able to do that. I just didn't think we ever have a chance to, write on a Star Trek show, because I just don't have that resume, And anyway,
and also there was a fallow period for quite a while there where the idea of coming back to TV was not something that people were expecting.
Yes, but even if it did come back, it would be like a 1 hour, they're like a drama, and that's a totally different world sometimes for writers, to kind of break through. People do, but I hadn't really, no one would hire me to do a drama probably. But lo and behold, this half-hour animated comedy comes out, and I loved the show. Like, we loved it. Like, we didn't, for a bunch of reasons. And anyway, getting the job, I was so excited, and I was immediately like, I don't know what's going to happen with this, but the very first thing I'm going to do, thank you, the very first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I get my wife on screen. I'm gonna name a character after her. If I can get them to design it around her, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pull that card. It's kind of
that's a 2-step process. It's one thing to write in.
Yes, I mean, I've done it before with for friends. I've gotten their names into scripts or on TV or whatever, which is not as hard, but like, like it's always a little sticky for them to be like, here's the new guy, just joined the show. And it's like, hey, I have it's my script. I'm like, what if it's designed to look exactly like my wife? JPEGs attached. You know,
Let me know
and,
if you need posing. We have
yes.
tricorders. We
And
can
you
do
know what? They were so great about it. They were amazing about it. So they did make Instant Kerns, and not just Instant Kerns, but my entire D&D group is in that. So there's also Cordy, which is Corey Rouse, who is an Imagineer, and we've been playing D&D for a long time. And his now wife, Kelly Holden, is Dr. Holden in that episode. And then Matthew Stephen Young, who's a writer for the of just recently canceled Kung Fu, but one of my dearest friends and our game master is he's another character in there as well. And I even got another. I mean, I just went for it. Like once I opened the floodgates, I'm naming everything after people that I know and getting them into.
Listen, I'm
Star
watching
Trek.
it going, how many seasons does Brian have to be on it before I'm in an episode? That's the threshold we need to reach.
Well, it's too bad. I had left after season 3, so that the window is closed for now.
You know what? The show's not over. We all know
true.
this business.
It's so true.
It's a revolving door. Out one
All
season, back in the next. Who knows?
I will do that. I will make sure. I'm going to write it down somewhere. Not here, but I'm going to write it down. Ken Plume, Instant Plume, or I don't know what race do you want to be if I have a chance?
Dealer's choice.
Oh my God, I don't know what to do. I like you being a human,
just not
like
a Packlet.
No, I won't make you a Packlet. I won't make you a Packlet. Don't say that about yourself. No one should see themselves.
I don't need to see the Packlet version of a collector.
Oh my God, that's kind of funny. Actually, it's not a bad idea, Ken. Also writing that down.
I'm already a villain in the Marvel Comics universe.
Oh, you are? That's amazing.
Very nice. Kelly Thompson, amazing writer, just ended a really long run on Captain Marvel. I am in an issue of Captain Marvel based on a bit of a chat that we did that we
it's like riffed
on a fun little interlude thing. And yes, I'm in there as the Nexus.
I love it. I'm ready.
I think I'm still in jail. No other writer has used me, but I do exist and I'm available.
I love that you're just putting yourself up to be name checked in any nerd media. You're available for it.
Yeah, any friend out there who wants to throw me in anything, I'm fine. It's all fiction. I don't care how you use me. Whatever.
Yeah. By the way, so am I. You know what? Just because I'm out there writing, it doesn't mean you can't.
Yeah, you know what? I think we should talk about how beautiful it was. You didn't insert yourself into the episode.
No, I did. I was inserted once on. I wrote on season 9 of Scrubs, if you remember this program, and I appeared also. I also appeared on it as myself, but they wrote a character called Dr. Bradley. That was a bit I did in the room. Was just a nervous anesthesiologist. He didn't seem to know totally what he was doing. Like he was just like he had not studied the newest machines, so it was just kind of a nervous person. And they're like, well, eventually I actually did play the role. But I got name checked as Dr. Bradley.
I mean, that's also earlier in your career. Is that how you felt in rooms at the time?
Probably. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
I mean, season 9 of Scrubs still was nothing to shake us. That was what, ABC?
Yes.
That's a major network when that still meant something.
It's true. It's when it it
had pulled a taxi.
Yeah, that's right. They had closed it off and shut it down and had a beautiful finale over on NBC, and then ABC, it was actually an ABC show.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It was an ABC studio show. And they're like, whoa, no, wait, we'd like to have another season that's wholly owned by us. And so they remounted it in a strange way, but it had a lot of fun people.
It was basically it was like a soft reboot.
It was a soft reboot. It was like med school, and that's when we first met people like Dave Franco and Eliza Coupe was in that, and Carrie Bechet was in it. You know, it was a bunch of really fun. And then, yeah, some of the old cast was there, but it was like they were now teaching at the med school as what that had always been attached somehow to the hospital. So it was always there, but we never knew that there was a med school.
Yeah, so it was a little bit after MASH. It was
full after MASH.
It was who was going to drop by and have a little guest appearance, little special visit.
That's right. That's right.
So now, because I have a history with Scrubs, because I did the Scrubs blog with them, the video blogs. That was all my pitch to Bill Lawrence when I was at IGN, and so we did sort of with the with the ABC Studios kind of going, I guess if Bill wants to do it, sure. We got away with a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that we put out.
Wait, so you were around on season 9?
I mean, I was.
Ken, how did we not connect at that time?
You tell me. I'm not going to take full blame for this. This is not.
No, I know. It felt like I was totally blaming.
But that was a weird transition from NBC to ABC. Period.
I mean, for me, it was just my first. I mean, it was my first like scripted TV writing job. Like I had been on Mad TV for 3 years prior to that, so which is like kind of like the community college of TV. Like, it's the community college of sketch shows. Like you know,
it's not just of TV. It's the community college of Fox at that time.
It was absolutely and. I was just happy to be there, you know. Yeah, there you go.
That period of I remember one speaking of someone who was a intern. Was he not an intern? Why am I saying intern? Was a starting writer first year the second year of doing the blog.
Right.
When he was the young writer in the room and got assigned to doing the blog entries, was Kevin Beagle.
Kevin!
Speaking of something, the Machine just came out, I think, on digital today.
That's right. Yep.
But I remember talking to him when he was stuck with having to do blog entries.
You know, there's no one better. I mean, if anyone's going to face doing the thankless blog entry job in the room with a positive attitude, it's going to be Kevin Beagle.
This is the same Kevin, if I remember correctly, for the end of the year blog. At the end of, I think, his first year, found that he had a decayed apple in his bottom desk drawer that had been there for probably the whole year.
Oh my God! Well,
now you were still in the original writers' room, right, at the hospital doing 9 as well. You had moved out; they moved to studios by then. Right?
No, they tore that hospital down.
I remember that
infested with raccoons and rats. And I don't know in what order, but they were having some kind of a war.
I remember there were possums in the writer's couch.
It was fully infested with vermin and creatures of the earth. And also animals, but not just.
To be fair, I don't think they turned the AC on, so it was a lot of leaving windows open. To air out during the
stinky, decrepit hospital in the valley, and then they moved. What they did when ABC brought it back is they rebuilt in Culver Studios, Culver City, California, which is a little studio that's most famous actually for a couple of things. One of them is that it has parts of Gone with the Wind were filmed there. Also, in the Culver Hotel, which is nearby, was housed all of the little people who played the Munchkins for months on end. The entire hotel was filled with the Lollipop Guild, and those stories are amazing. And they made a movie out of it called Under the Rainbow.
Chevy Chase and Carrie Fisher and Billy Barty.
It is just an old silent film studio that they had rehabbed and had some big stages. And Bill, he rebuilt the Sacred Heart there beautifully on all these big stages, all these amazing hallways you could do big long walk and talks on, just really cool like West Wingy looking kind of sets. And then there was also another set of stages that had like your cool med school auditorium, classrooms and spaces and dorm rooms and stuff like that. So yeah, no, we never got to work in the filthy, dirty.
Yeah, that season
petting
9 Sacred Heart is nowhere near as dirty as
No,
the original Sacred Heart.
It is much cleaner. It is much cleaner.
But it was nice just wandering around those empty halls.
Yeah, I loved that. Those
also,
you
had to like dogs because it doubled as a kennel.
I mean,
there were a lot of dogs in that office.
So many dogs. Jonathan Groff and Josh Bicel, who were running Scrubs at that time, had an open dog policy in that, because we were in the same. Bill had built he'd taken over one of these writers' offices, like a big office, and he had so he didn't have to go far. He has like one built-in writer's room, and then he had them install, sort of put in walls and build another writer's room for Cougar Town, which was Kevin's show with Bill, that was about 100 feet from our writer's room, and we were he just sort of bounced between them. And yes, the place was lousy with hounds, which, by the way, is fine with me.
Lousy with Hounds is also the spinoff you should have pitched. I'm going to start opening something while we're talking, because I completely forgot that I haven't opened anything. So we're going to go with Revenge of the Sith, Darth Vader.
We're here to open things.
The conversation is just the Scrubs memories. My two fondest memories of wandering around that Sacred Heart Hospital was the utter glee with which they would tell you the story of the wild animals.
Yes.
Coupled with, you want to go see the morgue?
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to think about. Oh yeah, this was a functioning hospital. This has a morgue in it.
Absolutely. And I have a Scrubs related morgue tale for you. Well, what are you opening here? Honestly, can we turn to this for a moment?
We can. So this is 2005. This is the Revenge of the Sith, one of the packaging that is the most unique but most hateful for me when it comes to, because I like to keep the card backs just because
cool.
there's fun on the card backs, and
absolutely
it's less space, so that's an easy thing to keep. But I pre-cut the tape because I learned the last time I did this, I don't want to be handling razor blades while on stream. So there's tape that holds the plastic normally on the back. So I pre-cut that just to make it a little easier. But then it's separating this. But this is just your standard Darth Vader, but there's action features. So we're going to see what the action feature of his lightsaber attack when we
my body is ready.
But my other fondest memory of Scrubs visiting that set was when the PA came around to inform everybody that the hot dog on a stick truck had arrived. And I had never at that point been on set when a catering truck had shown up with sort of a carte blanche. Would you like another one? Would you?
Yeah.
So
it's how people in the entertainment industry soothe themselves, because we're supposed to be having it. You're supposed to be working in the circus. It's supposed to be really cool, but actually, it's a lot of work, and the hours are long, and you've been there a long time. And then somebody, the director usually, or the writer on the sometimes both of them will always buy the crew a cart. Like it could be ice cream, or it could be coffee, or it could be
there was no sort of functioning cafeteria.
No,
or something there, and you're not on the studio lot.
No, that's right. Not at that one.
So that was all remote and had to actively be catered constantly.
Yes, and what better than hot dog on a stick?
I mean, it was so wonderful to walk up and go, I'd like a hot dog on a stick. And it was the first time I'd ever known that they did cheese on a stick.
God. Put it on a stick. I'm ready.
All right. I mean, if the lemonade was on a stick, it'd be a trifecta to remember, but sadly not. Let's see. So I'm assuming it's squeeze legs.
Yep, squeezy.
This is awkward.
Well, wait. I don't know if that's okay.
Let's try twisting his hand out.
In 2005, that might have been okay.
But None
We're
of
in a
this is
new era.
none of this is okay. There, it's better when you bring the arm up a bit.
Yeah, you can't. That's like Louis C.K. level. Don't do. I know
Yeah,
you're
this
the
is
bad
not.
guy, but let's not be the bad guy. You know what I mean? Oh, that's great. That's
I mean,
amazing.
it's got good swinging action.
It
I'll
really
say that it
does.
is.
I have to say,
I mean,
that's
this
not
looks like it
bad.
could hurt me. Just
Yeah, that's not bad.
and he's not, and he hasn't lost this thing, and this is not.
His
Is this
cape
permanently
is a
affixed?
little wispy, though.
Yeah, it
Right?
doesn't
Or am I wrong?
drape.
Is that just the way it looks on the
Yeah,
camera?
let me see if I can grab the one that just came out. Yeah, so here's the one that just came out that has like a slightly thicker.
Yeah. Right. That feels more
Yeah, this
That feels more like a Jedi
that
Lord.
drapes. This sort
This
of
one,
just
this feels like a little fancier. I don't know. Maybe he's going to the
or it's his sport cape.
Gala.
When you
I
don't
guess
want a
so.
heavy cape, when you're back
You know
on
what? Can I
Mustafar
make a
and the heat's
suggestion to
getting you,
Darth Vader,
yes.
and I hope without being force choked? Maybe you don't need. And if you're already having to wear a lighter cape because of the weather, then maybe no cape. You know what I mean? Or do you have to have a cape because that's your brand?
I don't know. Do you think he's self-conscious about his shoulders? Maybe that's why he does the cape.
Well, I mean, we know what he looks like
I mean,
under
I mean,
there.
if if you're a wide-shouldered man, you like. I
Yeah,
mean, those are cape shoulders.
those are some 80s. I never realized he had very like 80s Linda Dano shoulders. Those are some pretty good,
Yeah, it's like a
yeah.
cross between a linebacker and Dynasty.
I'd watch that show.
I mean, wasn't that First and 10?
I guess it was.
Does anyone remember First and 10?
Guilty. I do.
Also
Old.
dating us?
Old. We're old. But you're playing with toys, so it's keeping you young.
Listen, First and 10 walk so Arliss could run.
No, I don't. I can't co-sign on that.
Wait, is there Robert Wool beef that we need to know about?
No, I have no beef. That is pretty great. I do. Aside from the cape, which again feels on the thin side for a person with this much gravity, I'm a fan of this toy. This looks good.
Yeah, I mean he's certainly not up to a modern action figure standard, but the sculpt is still pretty good.
Sculpt is good, and it gives you something to do when you're nervous. Like if this is on your desk at work.
This is a fidget. This is a fidget Vader.
Yeah, that's not bad. I need that in my life.
I mean, I can see you just sort of relieving tension with your fidget Vader.
Yes. Yeah, I'd break it in 5 seconds.
And you can get this for probably $5 on eBay.
I'd re-traumatize him by chopping off his leg, just breaking his leg off, and
so
he'd be like, "Again, oh,
Audrey, if you're watching right now, Brian needs a fidget Vader."
She won't buy me anything else. She won't.
You say that, but I would bet the next thing you talk about is the fact that you got a fidget Vader.
We're going back to Comic-Con this year. We'll see where we're at, or if we can buy things anymore.
Wait, they have funnel cake at Hot Dog on a Stick too? Is that what Mike is saying?
Oh, I think it is. They do have. I believe they are famous for that.
So it's all like State Fair Carnival.
Yes, it's like Hot Dog on a Stick is located at. I think the OG one is at Santa Monica Pier. Yeah, it's right down there on the sand, and they wear those fun little hats. And it's definitely like, there's like, the pier is basically a little carnival. So I think maybe they go together. They make sense together. And the funnel cake makes total sense.
What movie had Hot Dog on a Stick? Was it Almost Famous that she worked at Hot Dog on a Stick? Am I remembering that she had the uniform on in that?
I mean, that sounds right. I think I wanted to say Fast Times, but did it as well. Or no, Fast Times had the fish.
Yeah,
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He worked at the
seems
fish
like a
place.
parody of.
Yeah.
That. Yeah. Why don't restaurants do themed uniforms anymore? If you're gonna.
You mean like a Long John Silver's style?
Yeah, then you have pirate garb.
I don't know.
Why not have like royal garb if you work at Burger King?
I think it made it fun. Like, I mean, it was. I 100% agree. There should have been. You should still be wearing cool costumes.
I mean, yes,
Oh,
also
oh,
paid more, but pay more and also theme it up. Like make
the,
it like a what's the jousting place?
you're talking about medieval times?
Medieval time. Make it like
Yeah.
medieval times. Every restaurant should be more like medieval times. Just go
Well,
full on.
Ken, you'll certainly get no argument from me. I don't know if it's at all practical, but you'll get no argument from me. There should be a
Does it matter
fun
anymore? Can we just have
theme
fun
show.
end times? If it's all going to go away,
Absolutely.
pay
Uh,
people and have fun with it.
you know what? This gentleman, Mike says, Bumblebee, the main character worked at Hot Dog on a Stick. That
But
is maybe what we're thinking of. If you saw that,
that was Haley Steinfeld, wasn't it?
that's it. That's it. That's it. That feels right. Oh
Well, then
wow!
why do
Look
I
at
remember
this.
Zoe Deschanel? She was the older sister in Almost Famous.
I
right?
think it's appeared in a few places, and maybe even on TV.
It's an
well.
iconic weird outfit.
Yeah, and it's a classic high school fast food job, kind of thing.
For the West Coast.
Yes, but even plays as a joke if you don't live here and have any reference of it. It just plays as a joke, hot dog on a stick, etc. So I think you see it quite a bit, and it is colorful. The costumes they're like costumes. They're uniforms.
They're work clothes that are probably resented by the workers who work there. Let's be honest.
Their costumes are pretty fly.
It's not something that you want your friends to show up and see you in. They're not flattering.
And I don't know. They're so weird that it's okay, I think. Yeah.
Again, I think if you're compensated duly and well for the work that you were doing,
yeah,
then I think that makes having to wear that a little bit easier.
Is this a low-key comment about the writer's strike? Is that what this is all about?
Isn't everything? Listen, the fact that we're talking right now and you're on
Chef's kiss, my friend. Couldn't be more accurate.
You would not be available right now to have this conversation. You would be in a room right now going, is the food truck here?
Yeah, where's the hot dog on a stick?
We've been here.
God, I hope they have the funnel cake.
We've been here 13 hours. Is anything going to show up? What do you mean Netflix cut it?
Is this an amazing vehicle you're about to?
This is. So, and it's also an in-joke making canon. This is Jon Favreau at his I'm playing with my toys with Disney's money at his best.
Right.
So this originally the troop transport. This was a in the 1970s Kenner action figure line was a Sears exclusive.
Right.
That was just an excuse to put out a vehicle that was not in any of the movies.
Yeah.
At that point, as a way for kids to have a figure holder and get product out there. Like, I think this came out before Empire, so it was sort of in that weird period of we're running out of Star Wars.
Yes.
Pre-New Hope stuff, and we just need to can we put something out? How about a troop transport? Because of course they got, and it'll tell them to buy more troops.
Honestly, I can't argue with anything but this decision. I don't, because it feels like, when I was, of course, I'm old enough that I'm buying these toys when they're coming out as a child, or they're being bought for me. And there was a lot of things that seemed like, very small details, obviously from the film that showed up larger in toy form. And I was so here for all of it. Like, if this is I'm very excited about this transport. And that's what you want.
And it's a good excuse to go buy more stormtroopers. You need more stormtroopers now.
Oh.
Or it's like the party bus. This is where when you have a weekend off, when you have some leave, it's not just fighting rebels all the time.
I love that everybody has to kind of stand. It does hurt the party atmosphere in that you have to stand outside of the vehicle, sort of facing outward. It hurts the vibe.
Well, I mean, you could stand facing each other
that's
if you
a different
want.
Kind of party, friend, right there. That changes things a lot. that's a game
you know,
changer.
the orientation, but I mean, I guess you're supposed to be ready at a moment's notice to.
Right.
I only have a clone trooper to put in here, so for any of the pedants watching, although technically they could have been in this.
Absolutely, that's amazing.
But yeah, I mean, you have
what's at the front of it now.
So the front.
Do we have a little? Can we put a little guy in there?
Looks like someone has. I think, even though I think someone has opened this prior, but not fully opened it.
Yeah.
Because there are bits that are collapsed in, but this is a swing out door, so that
nice.
door swings out like that. There we go, and will close, and you can put your little drivers in there.
That's what I'm excited about.
Your bus driver on the Stormtrooper party bus.
They take that all the way to Vegas. If they had this in real life and you could drive this all the way to Vegas,
mean, look,
standing
if you're
outside,
full party, there he is, just sort of.
He's your MC, MC Vader. That's amazing. I mean, love it.
How can you not get this? Is just a.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the doors, some of these doors, they swing open. The front one does. It's got little.
So dope.
I got to take Vader down. He's going to take a tumble.
Don't do that.
Even before he starts drinking.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's why they back opens so they can put him.
Oh, there has a little back. What loads in there? I mean, is there a gun that goes on top?
There is a turret. Which I think was in the bag.
Yeah, let's go.
Put that turret on.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Yep.
I mean, this would not have been an expensive vehicle back in the day.
No.
This would have been. I mean, wouldn't have been dirt cheap. It wouldn't be as cheap as a figure, but this is sort of like. This is the thing that your parents would get you because, well, this thing was in the Sears catalog and it said Star Wars, and I know you wanted an X-Wing or a TIE fighter, but you can put your figures in this.
You'd still be excited about it. I honestly don't think this would be a disappointment. I cannot see a child. I mean, unless you're just fully, stoked for an X-Wing or something. I can't see you. I see this as being like a strong second.
Eric is correcting me. It first appeared in Rebels in animation.
There you go. All right.
But it was brought into live action, which, as we know, as far as studios are concerned, that's all that really matters.
No, it's true. Oh, it's so good. He's not wrong. Mike's not wrong. That's not good turret placement. Look, I think if we start unpacking the technological aspects of this, it's a terrible slippery slope in Star Wars.
Yeah. So really either you make the turret higher, that would be the cheaper option, right? Just put the turret on more of a stick. So it sits higher.
I'd say. You want to clear the heads of the bigger. Yeah, that's right. Another option is if it's an armored vehicle that's taking troops into, infantry style combat. I'm not sure that they should be exposed out of the side that way. I don't know I don't think that's a design that makes a lot of sense. But again, I don't give a shit. I like seeing the figures.
Yeah, I mean, it's either that or it's like maybe it's like the minivan. This is like the Imperial minivan, and it's just taking them all for.
They're just headed to Costco.
Yeah, just.
Gotta get a 6-pack of jeans down at Costco.
You know what? And if this is the party van, maybe this shoots like champagne or something.
God, maybe. Ken, I'd love your imagining.
It's like a bubble. It's a bubble turret. And it's
that's
just
a Star Wars
fun.
We need. Yeah.
Put some disco lights on this thing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this whole. The top comes off.
So let's see the inside. Let's see that.
Inside, they got drop seats.
Oh, cool. So if you sit a dude in there, I'm sure the scale is not ideal, but
it might be. Let's see. Modern figures, so we got good articulation.
Yep.
Nah, he sits fine.
Yeah, he sits in there. All right.
You can put that lid on. He's safe from the turret, so you want to be inside.
Honestly.
And it looks like, you have access to the inside from the outside, so you can sort of.
I mean, they might not care about stormtrooper casualties, but it also seems like they're actively trying to kill them, Eric. I think that's really what I'm concerned
I mean,
about.
this does, when he's sitting there, this does feel more like a commute now. Like he should be holding a newspaper.
That feels fun. That looks like a subway car.
I mean, I've
You
sat
just need
like
a
that.
guy.
just
You
sort
just
of
need a
bored.
guy in hot pants with a snake around his neck, and you're in a subway car right there.
I mean, we can, let's put Kirk in there.
Oh, don't! Oh my God, Tiny Kirk.
Put his jumps. I mean, it's probably to scale.
It's like Jockey Kirk. That's like he's on his way to the racetrack to work out with his horse.
Well, he's in between horses.
How dare you?
We need more figures in that scale. Star Trek figures in 3 3/4 scale.
Yeah, that's great.
Were these Mego? I think Mego did these figures, didn't they? Wasn't this like the last stand of Mego?
I'll tell you. I told you once. I'll tell you again. I have no idea. I told you earlier. I have a box of unopened Star Wars figures here that was sent to my wife.
You must have Star Trek figures in the house. Audrey must have Star Trek stuff.
We have tons of Trek figures. We have like the stuff behind us here. We also have a lot of weird, like, we got like stuff from shows that nobody gives a shit about. Like, what am I thinking of? What is the Brian Henson
Farscape,
which is like my wife's very favorite thing of all time.
You know what? That has a dedicated fan base.
She is for sure one of them.
I tried. I was again working at IG. I knew folks at Henson at the time. Yeah, and I could never.
You couldn't get into it.
It's impenetrable in that weird way that it sort of felt like a more kid-friendly Lex. Does that
that
make sense?
That does make sense.
Like the design
I'm gonna whisper. I'm gonna whisper a little bit here because I don't think she's watching this, and I don't want her to hear me. But she loves it so much, and she, after a lot of discussion, she's like, "Let's do a rewatch. Like, let's go back, look at all the Farscapes right from the beginning, and like, I want you to see what I see in the show." And I'm like, "That sounds great." And so we started to, and we got, I'm wanting to love it because she loves it. You know what I mean? And I could see it also is complex and cool.
Fiction.
Oh my God. I mean, it's got a lot of cool stuff, but it's got great characters and stuff, and very interesting characters that are sort of fresh in a weird way. But it's the mixture of the puppets and the, live action. It just, I don't know. It's sometimes it is like you say, it's sort of a little hard to unlock for me.
Yeah, but the design sensibilities are certainly challenging at times. Yeah. There's not anything that you can like easily take away and merchandise. There's
no, and yet we have some of it. We bought on the tertiary market.
There's no cute and fluffy, although there is a Star Wars connection to this film. Since what's the name of the guy? Is it Scorpius or
Scorpius? He's the big bad.
Plays Grand Moff Tarkin at the end of Revenge of the Sith. He's in the makeup.
There you go. I mean, the acting is great in it. Like there's a number of really amazing it has like all the ingredients to be. I think it's just like the people that love it.
It also has that favorite weird, it feels like Sci-Fi Channel stuff of that period.
It does.
There's something weird about the budgets, and there's something weird about how the film looked at that time, and the processing, the post on that looked. I'm assuming it's available in HD now, and that's how you did the rewatch.
Yeah,
is it?
I believe she may own the Blu-rays. I wonder if that is how we were watching it. I don't recall.
Because I think it's I'm assuming you did this as well when they came out, and when they did the HD remasters of Next Generation,
Yes. Oh
and
yeah. Oh
went
yeah.
back to the film source as opposed to video, and what a revelation
Yeah.
it was to watch that show in film as
Yeah.
opposed to standard video frame rate and resolution.
And whatever you were getting on UPN or wherever you were watching it, whatever. That's the other worst. When you watch them live and standard definition television, and it's already down converted. Even now, when you color correct your show, and you send it off to the network, the finished sort of locked picture, locked everything, locked cut, and like you spend so much time trying to make it look just like you want it to. And the joke for a lot of us is that as soon as it goes to be like, to the networks people, they go in and they recolor correct it, and they make it super saturated, and they do a bunch of shit to it and just affect the quality of what you're trying to show people,
Yeah. Why is everything so dark?
always, or really bubble gummy, like ABC is notorious for its kind of super highly saturated bubblegum colors, and which makes everything look dumber. Like you might try to write something as smart as you possibly can, but nothing looks really cool when it all is like a
when it all
ball
looks
pit.
like a a music video.
Yeah.
I gotta move Kirk back and put Kirk over there.
Don't you dare do a thing with him. You leave him out of this.
Your sweet baby boy. We're not going to do anything.
Don't you hurt him.
Also, kudos to Walter Koenig. One of the most brilliant compliments in recent years.
What? How did I miss this? What is it?
When I don't know who asked him or how it came up, but he very pointedly and with the design of a person who also is a writer, complimented how wonderful the character and portrayal of Denny Crane was.
Oh wow!
In Boston Legal.
Well,
so it's like we're not friends, and not going to speak to the him as a person, but that performance of that character.
He's of it. He is no longer. I don't think anyone will work with him anymore. I mean, he's getting to be so old anyway. But I don't think he's welcome in the Star Trek universe anymore. I really don't.
No,
but
well, I mean, we have other options. Strange New World shows we have other options.
God,
we're gonna recreate a movie scene right now.
Oh God.
This. So this is, I think, 1996. So this is before the special editions. This is just as the figures were coming back, I think the previous year. And so we have a play set for the Death Star Escape. Comes with no figures, of course not.
Oh man.
But it's the overly muscular Power of the Force 2.
They all look like they have just been crushing nothing but chicken breasts and steroids.
We're here to save you.
They've absolutely been just destroying themselves. And
you're a little ripped for a stormtrooper, aren't you?
They swell.
It's weird to be opening things like this, knowing now how old this is, looking at that date and having to realize how long ago that was, and also knowing that here's a retailer that's now gone, the Toys R Us price sticker.
Yep. Oh,
also $9.99.
All right.
This would probably be conservatively at least a $35-$40 set now.
Yeah.
And that's not just inflation. I don't want to. Oh, we have to put this together. Oh,
that's fine. It's okay. It's worth it.
We're gonna go through this process together, right?
But do you have any of these swole ass characters
to hand?
Around?
No.
No. Damn. I love it.
I mean, now I feel that there's a level of disappointment you're voicing.
uh,
Also, this is sobering.
what? I can't. What's sobering?
I was born a year after this was produced, says Eric Elliott.
Oh, so, Eric, you were born in 90. You're born in 97. I graduated college in 94, which still I thought I was pretty young when this came out. But nope, Eric wins.
Nope.
Eric wins it. I was a grown man.
Well, I hope Eric shows this playset the proper respect.
Wow. So where did you purchase this playset?
So this was purchased. My local comic book shop. Shout out to Memory Lane Comics in Wilmington, North Carolina. If anyone is there in the area, they should check it out.
My sister lives in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you clearly don't visit that often.
I do, but I didn't know. I do visit her there. It's a beautiful, awesome city. I love that town.
It's a little smoky right now, but
is it really? Are you still getting all of that?
There are wildfires in a neighboring county.
Oh,
that was started as a controlled burn that was then accidentally left to burn beyond the control.
Yeah.
So it is a.
That sucks. That sucks when you have a branded control burn and that happens. I mean,
when you're the local fire department,
that's an F.
Now set the massive
F-.
wildfire.
It's not good.
I mean, you're making anecdotes.
I guess if that's the measure,
that's something, right?
I guess that'll do.
Can we use that now? Is that a valid trait? Is that at least a
fun anecdote offsets pollution?
Yeah,
the destruction of our environment.
Listen, if you can at least generate a nicely ironic joke.
It's all I've got left from my Hollywood career so far, just anecdotes. Anyway, I mean, that's all you're going to.
Is that the name of your autobiography? It's all just anecdotes anyway.
Just anecdotes. That's it. That's it. That's how they pay you. That's how they'd like to pay us.
Oh well, I guess we'll find out more about that in the coming weeks.
We sure will. Yeah.
Hopefully, just weeks.
Yeah. God. I mean,
well, you were so I don't know how much just in general you want to touch on this because but I certainly have tons of friends in the industry and writers and such, and I remember the 2008 strike.
Yes.
And I remember, I don't think, and you can tell me your perspective because you were writing then.
Yeah.
That this does feel different just from the aspect of social media that was not present then. Like, I think a lot of people are making comparisons to that strike and how it went and the kind of narratives the studios were able to introduce to undercut.
Yeah,
are not capable. They're not able to do today. They don't control the narrative like they did then.
No, they don't, and I think that is helpful, and it's also helpful for keeping. Like by this time, in 2008 strike, which was also over the winter, so it was a little bit more depressing somehow. But by this time people were starting to get pretty sweaty, on the line. It was getting a little bit dicey, just as people had been out of work for over a month and, et cetera, et cetera. And it was sort of the fervor was dying down.
The MySpace posts were getting a little salty.
Yeah. But like now I do think social really, that to me is the main thing that really helps. For writers, is there's just a lot of like communication between everybody and meeting up and keeping everyone's spirits up as they're out there, which really, really helps. It's also, it's like everything, there's a good and bad to all of it. But overall, that we do win with that. I remember my daughter, who's a journalist, she works for, one of the NPR stations here in Los Angeles as a reporter. And she's like, Dad, I'm going to be covering the strike. Do you have any videos from 2008? And stuff. And I'm like, No, hun. Like the iPhone had been out for like a few months. Like nobody had one.
Oh, you weren't taking videos actively on your flip phone to document
Our
everything?
shitty flip phone. And she's like, yeah, I can't find anybody's video. I can't find any content from that time. And I'm like, yeah, it just
No
doesn't
one was
exist.
hauling their camcorder down to the line to
Oh,
document what was going
there
on.
was definitely a few sweaty people doing it. Yes. But you'd be hard pressed to find them. But yeah, it was kind of wild. It's nuts.
How okay. I think maybe you shouldn't assemble things on camera.
Oh,
There's
look
probably
at that. This is where I can't even tell what it's going to be. That's how hard it is. Like,
okay. So there's a door. Okay, this has an offset.
if you pull
Clearly,
out an
that's
Allen
showing.
wrench, we're in big trouble. This has IKEA energy to me right now. I don't love it.
I'm not being judged for that. You know what? Anyone who wants to judge me right now, there's an Amazon wish list and a tipping link down in the description.
No one's judging you. No one's judging you. I'm traumatized by flat packed furniture. That's
Everyone
all it
is
is.
judging. I think this is. I don't think it's supposed to sit more than that. And then there's a sliding door.
Yeah,
is what I'm seeing. So
let's see.
This is the action feature.
Look at that. That's, okay. All right. That's coming alive for me.
We got that.
Alive.
I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to put the missiles in the turret just so I can accidentally hit them as I'm putting it in, because that's...
God, are they spring loaded?
Oh, they're spring loaded. Oh, these springs are...
Yeah.
Oh.
Those are some 2000... Those are some 1996 springs.
Yeah.
Right there. That's when they knew how to make a spring.
Yeah. Well, that in the and that Cylon Raider.
How dare you? How dare you? That's one of the great toys of all time.
Also, it spawned 1,000 lawsuits.
Yes. I'm just thinking of all my
if
childhood.
Anyone wants to wonder why Boba Fett never got his rocket firing backpack, you can blame Battlestar Galactica.
There were so many more dangerous things when we were children. It's absurd.
Oh, what are you gonna go to the old standbys? You gonna go to lawn darts?
Oh, you're talking about a jart?
I forgot you also had a Florida childhood to compound.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, this that's into place. So it's not coming out, so I'm hoping it's supposed to be where it's supposed to go.
Yeah. There's nothing compared to like an easy bake oven, which is still the most amazing.
But even a light bright, those bulbs got so hot. I mean, I remember my light bright starting to melt.
Yeah.
When you put the wrong wattage in there, too big a bulb, and it was too close to the plastic.
Unbelievable.
What do you mean? I needed to really. They meant 60 when they said 60. Okay, so I shouldn't have put 100 in there. But it glowed so bright.
Yeah.
The picture looks so cool.
Right through your bone, like right through your skin and bone, directly a hole through your body.
All those toys were fun until they weren't.
Yeah, until they were a trip to the emergency room.
I mean, all of our toys were just nesting cautionary tales.
Yeah, they really were. So and that's fine.
I think this is just supposed to friction sit. Oh, okay. Well, I fired a rocket.
Did you see? You knew it was coming.
Yeah, that thing is gone. We've lost a rocket. This now is down to 1. It flew probably about 10 feet.
That's not bad.
So yeah, I have no idea. Oh, there's the trigger. Okay, well that's good to know now. So yeah, this is just a ball with friction sits in this socket, and now is your turret to move around. So I guess you eventually could wear it down so it just pops out. Like there's
you've got to break it in. Cam.
There's a finite life on this, clearly.
Absolutely.
It's starting to look sort of like something, right?
Coming to life.
We got a grating. So this is where they leap into the trash compactor. So that gets installed that way. from behind, I think. I mean, this is the toys. These are the Christmases I remember as a kid.
Yeah.
When it was, oh, this is wait, we got to do what?
Yeah. I mean, and then there's that. There's always that concern.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was
I could
obviously
have told you. I could have told you that gravity was not your friend with that particular action item.
So that's clearly a fast getaway. We do have stickers.
Oh, you got decals, yay. Let's go.
The absolute worst, I remember, were the weird water model stickers that used to come with GI Joes.
Oh, jeepers! Hold on.
This is important. Is this Audrey?
No, it's
saying
not
she was
important.
listening, and she's
this is my old friend. This is my old friend Spam Risk, who's giving me a call. Calls me many times a day. One of my closest friends, for sure.
Well, you weren't at the reunion.
No, I'm sorry, Spam. You know what? Take a hint. I haven't answered one of your calls in a long time.
Okay, you know, so the hatch tabs. I mean, that's where that's supposed to go. That's just not going to stay. So okay, we'll put this in. Oh. So now it's sort of looking like something, right?
Yep. Don't force it, Ken. Steady.
I mean, I don't want to be the guy who breaks it after
after it survived
nearly 30 years.
30 years of
so this
plastic.
Is okay. Well, I guess this is supposed to be floppy.
Why does it do that?
It's on a pivot. Is it supposed to be like I don't
like
know.
In the silly silo when the floor drops out from underneath you?
But like to a mild slide?
Yeah, to a mild slide. Yeah.
Okay, well.
All right. But if it's sitting flat down, you barely even notice that it's hinged for no reason.
And then we have the doorway. They have they have the crappy looking side in here.
Yeah.
To where you're having to look at it because you have the control panel on the outside.
But that's a great shot from the other side.
It is a great shot. This thing, I'm just
that is blowing your shot. That is absolutely blowing your shot. You're gonna have to mod that out in order to make it work.
And so this, I'm assuming, is the bank of security cameras.
Yes.
And they want us to put that lining the outside.
What? Leading into the.
Yeah. Well, I guess because he fires and blasts out the cameras, so I guess they're supposed to be like that.
Yeah. Let's see.
And there's two other ones, but it doesn't actually say where to put them. Oh, there's nothing on the other side. So this is all we get. So do you remember that other standby of our childhoods, which was where's the box? Where's the actual picture they provided of what they say this is supposed to look like?
Yeah. There you go.
So,
Yeah, that feels right.
Okay, that's a different color.
You're missing a blue thing.
What's that? It's a black thing here.
Oh, let's see.
And I have it upside down, I guess. The triggers are supposed to be. Well, even their grate's cooler. Look, their grate's like cut out. It's an actual grate.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you hate when they cut corners? And you see this
packaging? Must have been the prototype that they sold it on. This was the pitch before you got studio notes. Like this is when everything was good and sweet and the story made sense.
Yeah, but
and it was all great.
We can save 20 cents if you don't make that grate a grate and you just make it a thing that falls down.
And then I think if you're the dude who created this or the woman who created this, you're like, you know what? Honestly, I can't. Just fine. Just do whatever the fuck you want. It's out of my control. Their moment is that one on the box. That's their like. Take a picture of that. Yeah.
When they designed this, they were probably still working at a company then that had a pension, had a retirement plan.
Yeah.
You know, I think you're more willing to go, sure.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, and I screwed it up. It went sideways, and I pushed it into place. Oh, I did the thing. Do I fix it? Do I try it? Oh no!
You know that's an error. You know what happens if you get your fingernail underneath that. You know it. You've seen this story.
Son of a gun! But I'll fix that later off camera.
That is a test for you as an adult human being. Like you have to
I was
live in a world
confident the
where
top went on
imperfection
so
is
straight.
acceptable.
The top went on so straight, and I was super confident about making that curve, and it just...
Don't you dare spiral over this. Don't you do it.
I'm not in a good place right now.
You're too grown for this, Ken. You're too actualized for this.
I thought I was, but I'm not. I'm clearly not.
It's looking like you're not. It's looking like you're about to crumble is what it's looking like.
Now this is like every Lower Decks episode I've watched.
Where it falls apart in the third act.
Yes. But this was the plan. This is the plan. We were
It mimics our actual writing process.
Well, that season you wrote, that must have been Zoom, right?
Yeah. All Zoom. I knew Chris Kula, who was on for the first 3 seasons. I knew Chris from Mad TV back in the day. And who else did I know? I think I may have been known Ben Rogers a little bit. So like I may have seen them all and those guys in real life. But other than that, I hadn't seen any of those people. Like they were literally just people that I saw on my screen every day. And then finally at the end of that season, we had a weird pandemic beer outdoors in like Silver Lake or something. And, we did sort of all get together and have a beer together and see each other in real life. But yeah. And that's been that way. I mean, I did the head of the class mini room for Warner for HBO Max or whatever it was. And
look how good, Brad. Just a quick aside. Look how good I did on that one.
I mean, good. See, now look, that's where you can say you can recover.
Next to it, I can't.
No.
Now I've shown I was capable of doing it. Now
you have to live in the now. You have to live in the now, man.
Look, I you know what? The door may slide away from it, but I can't get away from it. It's this does look nice. I mean, as far as simple,
it's actually great. If you ignore the floppy trash compactor grate. And you don't worry about the hinged bottom.
I mean, I'm fine with all that. Why was the bottom hinged? It's locked into place now with the ring. So
maybe it was a way it was packed, potentially, that was sort of made sense.
But it actually attaches though on a swing joint. Like it's meant to swing.
Maybe there was another. It was an edit.
You know,
yeah.
That flap just. If I can set this down without the flap opening, I won't bother with the sticker.
No, don't put that out there. It's gonna fall. It doesn't matter if it falls. All right.
I'm still gonna mess with the sticker.
Yeah, do this.
But yeah, so you were talking the mini room.
Oh, in that mini room, I was just saying that I had never that room full of people, aside from Bill Lawrence, whose show that was, I and my writing partner on it, I never met those people. It was deep in the pandemic. Like that was right in the heart of it. I never met those people, never saw them in person. The show ended up on TV, on air. There was all this stuff happened. I never saw them. And then on strike, not too long ago, I was walking along and I'm like, I recognized another one of those writers, and I couldn't be sure because I'd only ever seen them from sort of like the mid-shoulder, like the shoulders down, just such a strange thing to live in that space.
So the strike has really brought rooms together.
Or it's made you have to see people that you don't want to see too. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but most of those people are making backroom deals right now.
How dare you? Probably.
Oh, I'm sure just me saying that, you can think of at least one or two writers or showrunners who are probably going, this isn't a meeting.
Yeah.
But let's just say,
I think that's real gross. I hope that's not happening. I'm sure it is, especially above a certain level. But I like to think the best of people, because I really it's so harmful to what we're doing. I have
it
written
is, and I don't know how
yeah.
I don't understand how they think that they're immune to what
Well,
what the studios would love to have happened.
yeah.
Like
They're not. They're just
certainly that
people are
that
selfish,
DGA deal,
No.
quote unquote,
Yeah,
is
they can eat a bag for sure. That was gross, and
but also
but
consistent. I mean, that was remembering back to 2008.
they haven't struck in 40 years.
Well, I mean,
And I think the
but
last time
isn't
they
it?
struck was like 2 hours or something like
But
that.
isn't it also that they're whatever their bylaws don't even contain the language or the mechanisms to strike?
No, they can strike. They can walk. Some of the sub
I
guilds
do
don't
have
have that.
I
Have a
do
no
have one
strike
we can
clause.
open. So
What's
here,
that?
so this is a Power of the Force talking about those super steroidal He-Man
Yes.
figures. Here is clearly someone who was doing some cardio and
Yeah,
some lifting out in the
he
snow.
looks like he's at a Star Wars theme. He's a stripper at a Star Wars theme like bridal party, like
Yeah,
bachelorette
at
party.
Jedi Mike's.
Yeah, Jedi Mike's. That's what he looks like. He's showed up. Did someone call a Jedi? And then he shows up, and
Someone ready to start a rebellion.
there's so much Velcro on that outfit. I can tell you that right now. There's so much. Tears away beautifully.
Let's bring some heat to this cold, cold planet.
Mm. Wow. Let's see
Yeah.
him. Let's get in there. Like, I love this. I love this special letter opening, box opening knife you have.
Well, I'm trying my best not to completely murder the packaging.
Yeah.
Gosh.
You're doing good. It's not bad.
I mean, it's not like that sticker.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't your greatest moment, but I also feel like, look at all the victories of that last build. There was so many. You're focusing on the wrong thing.
Yeah, but
that wasn't easy. It didn't make sense. A lot of it.
Those were not good instructions.
No, it was confusing.
Those instructions, they needed words.
Yeah.
Words would have helped.
Yeah. Wow. Who makes this one? Who makes this?
So this was Kenner after they had been bought by Hasbro.
I see.
So this would be, I think, 96 as well. 96.
Yep. God, amazing.
We got the lineup there with I'm assuming Boba Fett's travel shower.
Yep.
We got Skiff Lando.
Nice.
Got, again, sort of a super buff posing Bib Fortuna. He's got his arms out.
Good. He's bigger than any Bib Fortuna you've ever seen. You never think of him as being a gym rat, but there he is.
Yeah. No, he's flexing. That's Bring It. That's Bring It Fortuna.
That's him just after Arm Day, where he's just in the mirror like, God, I look so good.
Or I can't put my arms down. I can't. Can't put them. It hurts so much.
Do you think he works out that little neck tentacle? Like, does that?
Do you think it curls? Do you think he puts like a barbell at the end of it?
I know I would. If I had it.
Or do you think that like holds?
That's just leaving money on the table if you don't bring that thing out at the gym.
Yeah, I can do 3 barbells at once.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get this out of here. Oh, he just fell right out.
Yep.
That's what I want to see. So we got his pack.
Oh, yep. Just like my backpack. It sticks directly into my spine. Yep.
Oh, he's got a blaster that's hard sculpted in. I guess the assumption he's going to be using this rather than a blaster. So why?
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't need a blaster. This guy's in artillery. Whoa. Easy, steady.
I
Don't
can do
force
this.
it, Ken.
I can do this. I can do this. Oh no! It's caught on the nub. It flares. It flares.
There it is. Free at last.
We did this. We did this.
There we go.
So, speaking of figures,
Yeah.
and shows you've worked on. I mean, sadly, Lower Decks does not have any action figures to speak of.
I know. Not yet.
Or merchandise, really, to speak of.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. I was so disappointed that entire time that I thought there was going to be so much cool shit to get, and there really wasn't much.
And they didn't even give you a shirt.
Just the discount for the shirt. Yeah.
Was it a discount, or was it one of those you got to buy two?
No, it was definitely a punch card. It was definitely. They wanted you to do some.
You get a 5% discount if you write so many episodes.
That's right, and I didn't get to season 4, so
that's how they get you.
Yeah, that's it.
It's one of the things this new contract is fighting for.
Oh God, look at that! That's pretty good.
Yeah, this is. I mean, for the era, I mean, it's got some nice weathering on it.
Yeah.
You know, it's distance speckle, so it looks good from a distance.
Yep.
We got another thing I should need to be careful about. So that's spring loaded. That's ready to go.
Yes.
And then
hard sculpty.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Super tight. Does he blow into it?
Mm-hmm. It's a huge ocarina.
So I guess that's a sight. That must be his sight. Although there's no camera on the front, so.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, yep. So I'm assuming that's supposed to be the sight for then operating, because otherwise
this is standard.
He's just blind shooting
for Star Wars technology. It sometimes doesn't make a lick of sense, but that's fine. Someone designed it that way. It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, you know what? But if you stand him up straight, he is pretty much blowing into it.
Yeah. What is the little like instrument that you get in elementary school that you blow into that's like a little like flute or clarinet, but it's
recorder.
It's a recorder. No. The one it's got keys. That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking. Those have disappeared. I remember those fondly. I remember that being one of those things that you'd get near like the cap guns at a drugstore.
Yeah.
And it was usually white, but all the buttons were multicolored on it.
That's right.
And it was sort of like if you would compress to I always thought it looked like sort of a inflated harmonica.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it looked like a Twinkie. It was like Twinkie shaped.
It combines the technology of bagpipes with a keyboard, and
every bit is melodic.
Exactly, and there were similar results.
I don't think I ever learned exactly what that was called. I think that's one of those things that was just created that isn't actually like. I would love to see an orchestra of those.
I feel like
if Questlove is watching this right now.
Questlove has 35 of those things, and he's doing his own opening video right now, his live stream right now.
Yeah, you know what? His sticker's probably on there straight. His sticker is on there straight.
He doesn't even have to touch them. They just go there.
Look at these stickers.
It's magic.
These are stickers. Look how shiny.
It's pretty good, man. Let me see him a little closer. Let me see what his situation is. Okay, so this is Jedi Mike. Yeah. Look at that. Hello, ladies.
I mean,
would you like to feel the force?
I mean, now
of my sexuality.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, Mike, how dare you? Mike, that's a little on the nose. You're better than that. You don't need it. You don't need it, Mike.
Will he? Oh, there we go. All the way from Hoth.
Let's see some credits, ladies.
Oh, yeah, open up those.
Mike's working hard for your money. Remember, we've got a no touching policy here at Jedi Mike's. Just touch it with your eyes only, girls.
Use
Yeah.
the force.
So hot.
So, well, there we go. There he is. He is the. He doesn't even have a name. He's just what, Rebel Soldier, I think.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hoth Rebel Soldier with anti-vehicle laser cannon.
Yeah, that's very poignant. He's like, he's just a rebel soldier, like the nameless, unknown rebel soldier. Amazing.
I am just fodder for the
rebels. Oh dear.
Well, it's not a Tuesday night unless we do a Wichita lineman.
No
reference.
No. God bless Glenn Campbell. I was once at Glenn Campbell's home.
Really?
That's right. Because I knew his daughter, Ashley, who is an amazing musician, and she was a part of a play we were in, a bunch of us were in, and she invited us out for a little pool party at their house. And so I'm wandering through the home. He wasn't there. And there's he has a sort of like theater room. And then outside the theater room are all his like awards and stuff like that. And, all the Wichita lineman stuff and Rhinestone Cowboy. And I was just like, oh, it was one of those moments of surreality because I actually grew up in Iowa. And like my parents were big country music fans and they loved Glenn Campbell. Like my mom just adored him. And it was just so weird to be like, wow, how am I here? How am I standing right here at this guy's?
And this is when you spin around and go, and there's one of those gold albums right now.
I took it. I probably shouldn't have. I regret it to this day. And I thought this live stream would be the time to kind of out myself about it.
Yeah. He's been gone long enough now that you can come clean.
It's still too soon. He was a master. Wow.
Well, look, we got a probe droid to go with that.
Wow. I love a probe droid. I love them.
Probably could have gotten a slightly better photo representation than half blasted, covered by the blast.
I don't know. That's how I most enjoy seeing a probe droid.
It had better moments. Do you think that the probe droid called its agent shortly after this was released?
I think the probe droid understands its role. In my imagining, the probe droid is not a diva. It is not ambitious. It shows up. It does the work. It knows its job, and it's happy for the days on set.
That sounds like someone who's been striking for how many weeks now?
So it's not important. It's not about me. I know this sounds like an analog for my personal life, but it's not. This is clearly about this imaginary death robot.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
That's what I tell myself at night
when
I'm done crying.
Yeah. Just happy to do the work. It's all right. It's all going to come out fine. They didn't destroy the industry with streaming. they haven't gutted 100-year-old industry for no reason whatsoever.
Grow forever. Don't you understand?
Oh, it's so painful.
You can just add subscribers into infinity. That's how numbers work.
I remember this is about probably like 6-7 years ago, or maybe a little more. And I was at I won't even say who this is, but I was at a meeting with this producer who hilariously has become very pro-union. But at the moment he's like a film producer, and he was like buying us lunch, and we're talking with him, and we're talking about Netflix. And this is several years ago. And I was like, hey, I have a question for you. You're a smart guy. You're certainly smarter than me. I'm just a dumb writer. But like, how is Netflix going to how do they make money? I said, I did in a very simple, dumb theater math way. I broke it down. I'm like, it seems like they're spending a lot of money on all of this content, but they don't have another revenue stream besides subscribers. And aren't we going to reach a saturation point not too long from now where there's going to be no more subscribers? And then how does it work after that? They don't sell the content off of the studio. They have to lease other people's content. Like they have a lot of outgoing costs and not much incoming money. And he's like, oh, no, it's going to be fine. He said they're going to go into China. That's what he told me. They'll be in China. They're gonna be in all parts of the world. There's a huge, and of course, none of that ever happened. And
they just keep making subscribers. I mean, all
yeah,
over
and
the
that's sort
world.
of like what it was is sort of like you'd look in their eyes, and you, if you were mentioning that, it was like don't bring that up. No one wants you to ruin the party.
Have some more hot dog on a stick.
Yeah, here, can I get you another? You want a refill on your Coke? They're free here.
Don't you like it here? This is the future you're fighting for, right? Let's talk about mini rooms.
And then you would like talk about it with people. It's kind of hilarious because there was just a group of people that would be like, "I'm sorry, you're just too stupid to understand how this works. It's pretty complicated. It's like crypto talk. It's like it's not something I can really explain to you in 5 minutes. But there is a plan, and it's going to work out just fine." And you're like, "Okay."
It involves numbers, and
that's not your strong suit, writer boy.
Yeah.
Why don't you sit down there and write your giggle jokes? All right.
Do your make 'em ups, and we'll make the money.
There you go, sugar. They'll handle the money, honey.
Yeah. Yeah, sign over this. You like to work, right?
Yeah. Oh, no residuals. Okay.
Yeah, but you just work harder. Hey, now you get to work on more shows and make more things.
I hate working hard. I already did that, and then became a writer. I don't want to work hard anymore.
No, it's all about creativity, right? Isn't that the bullshit you tell yourselves?
No, because all of your shows are so bad.
And you're going to work on all of them for 6 episodes at a time.
6 episodes for a year. A sweet 6 episodes a year, buddy.
I am not even going to open this one because I don't think it's really meant to be opened. But I didn't want to show folks. So this is the 500th figure that they produced. And I think this is around 2005. But it has a nice little action feature to lift his up and down.
Look at that.
But it looks like he's like, hello.
The way it's happening now, it looks like it's malfunctioning, and he's yelling for help.
I pushed the button.
Terry, doing the thing again. Stop it!
Get me tech support.
Terry, I'm calling you. The thing is doing the thing again.
It took my hat again. I have a meeting. I can't talk. No, I pushed that. But yeah, it's got a little.
Yeah,
it's so goofy and wonderful, and because it's like his luxury toilet.
It is. What an amazing toilet!
But it's like a luxury toilet crossed by those Japanese toilets, the public ones that have the frosted glass that's supposed to appear when in use.
Yes,
and he's like, but it hasn't frosted yet. It's not. I'm
exposed in here, Terry. In my imagining, he has an assistant named Terry that we've never seen.
Terry Piet.
Terry with an I.
it's now Admiral Terry Piet.
Terry, what are we doing for lunch?
What did you see?
Yeah.
The pea soup. Is the pea soup on today?
If they don't have the pea, I'll have the corn chowder. And if they don't have the corn chowder, I want nothing.
They put ham in it again, didn't they? It's not good ham.
It's gross. It seems like cheap ham.
It's mostly fat. I noticed.
There's a knuckle in it.
I don't like the hard bits. What is that?
No, we're gonna make sure there's no hard bits in it, sir.
You said that last time.
I know I did, and but this time I've got to call.
I don't know who to trust anymore.
I can't call it. No, you can trust me.
I have sensitivities. You know this.
You know what? People don't get that about you.
I need a hug. And this button to work.
Oh, wait a minute. What's this? This looks like theater camp. Is that theater camp?
This is theater camp. They're putting on a show.
I had to go to this actor's showcase on Santa Monica Boulevard. It's my friend Linda and her other friend.
Little black box theater.
Yeah.
Can't get out. Was it BYOS? Was it bring your own seating?
You had to bring a folding chair, and then why do they lock the doors in the show? That doesn't seem safe.
I'm going to tell you a story through dance. And this is a story
that's amazing.
That all of you will I'm sure no. This is so Jabba's Dance. This so now we're in the special edition
Yeah.
territory. So this is 97,
Okay.
98. So this is the year after the special editions
That's
released.
right.
But yes, we got Jabba's Dancers and these little displays. So we have still from the film with some very primitive Photoshop because
Yeah,
it
it
clearly
doesn't.
just removed them from the scene
Yes. There, I
in the
have to
most
say
basic way.
that's a lady. That's a lady Greedo, right? Like it's
Yes,
a.
Our Lady Rhodian, I think, is
Is that what they are? Okay,
the species. Yes,
interesting. I I love her outfit.
uh,
Um, yeah, I mean, they're. I don't like how their feet are tied down. I understand why they are, but
well, we're at least gonna deal with that shortly. We're
yeah,
gonna
we really should deal with that freedom.
also very restrictive when it comes to the dancing.
It just doesn't feel good. I want them to feel okay
They
and
all look
free.
like they're trying to exit the packaging
They
too.
absolutely are.
Either that or you're missing a figure.
Wait, that's a job. That's amazing that they made this. This is incredible.
I mean, this is a golden era when it came to anything.
Yeah,
If it's on screen for half a second,
that's
it's
so
getting it. And
wild.
yet there's not a single Lower Decks figure out there. But Playmates, now Playmates with their Star Trek line went super, super deep over the years.
True.
I mean, they
Why
went to
we're not?
ridiculous lengths.
I don't totally understand, and I never could totally get a straight answer for what the deal was with merch, because there was a lot of like love in the sort of secret, secret hideout universe for the show. Like it was a very positive, um, you know, relationship with the other shows. Although I did have some, I did have one run in with a writer's assistant from one of the other shows who I can't tell this story, but
Well,
I
you just
realized,
started it, so you can't do that.
well,
Well, you're not going to be back till season 5 anyway.
no, I'm
So
not. It's not so much that it might not be appropriate for all. But anyway, what the only argument that sometimes we got, like being the sort of weird animated show, was that they would be like, you guys, you make things canon all the time in your comedy show, and then we have to like
deal
live
with
with
it.
that. Yeah, like deal with those things that you're making canon. And we had heard that, and there was like I used to work out at this gym, wonderful gym here in LA called Hero's Journey. It's like a nerd gym, and this guy that works out there was I think a writer's assistant. I'm not sure which show, but he was sort of side eyeing me over like several classes, and then one day I was just walking out to the car. We started to chat, and I asked about himself, and he's like, he told me he worked on the show, and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm actually writing on Lower Deck right now." He's like, "Yeah, I know," and I'm like, "Oh, okay," and then and I'm like,
And it
and I'm like,
went uphill from
"Oh,
there, right?
yeah," it went uphill from there, and he's like, "Yeah, you guys it's like we're dealing with your stuff all the time, like, you know, recently, you got it wasn't my season, but they're essentially they created a situation in the holodeck where there was a filter for fluids that would be emitted from bodies, um,
Yeah,
and
like sweaty during training sessions and such.
yeah,
Yeah,
but essentially he's like, look, you guys created jizz filters, and now we have to live with it. And I laughed directly in his face because I'm like, come on now, that doesn't
I
seem
mean
that
that
big
was
of
an
a burden.
active conversation. How are we going to deal with this?
If you can't ride around jizz filters, you're not doing your job. But but that I mean, that's the only bump I ever heard, and I'm not sure. I mean, again, the whole point is like, why isn't there more support and love for it? I really don't know, because I think the show is pretty terrific and overall, and I think it actually was holding down. The Strange New Worlds is with us now, and it's obviously amazing, but and really what everyone was hoping for. But there was a period of time where I felt like Lower Deck was kind of holding down the best Star Trek stories in a lot of ways.
Well, I
And
mean,
I'm a fan of the other shows. For what they are, but they weren't,
but
they didn't feel like flagship shows.
right, and there are also a lot of different aspects to Star Trek storytelling, and some aspects of it were not
That's
being
right.
maybe fulfilled by those other shows. When
That's right. They were moving in. They had a different reason for
which
being
is
and a
fine.
different audience.
Everyone gets to
That's
have.
right.
I mean,
I love
it's
that about them.
amazing times we live in that all these
Yeah,
different flavors of Trek
that's correct.
are available. So
Yep.
to
I feel the
be
exact same way.
going, well, we need to get rid of that one flavor is weird.
Well, I never
No
wanted
one
to get.
walks
I
into
wouldn't.
31 flavors and go, I just like vanilla. Why do you
Well,
stock these?
that is, first of all, that's absolutely not true. So it's not true as an
Was my
analogy or
absurd
the thing we're
scenario
talking
too
about.
absurd?
It's 100% true, but I think we were doing. I just meant that we were doing a more, what would be more tradition, even though they were comedy shows. They were
Right.
doing more traditional adventures, and we owed a sort of real adventure every episode that felt like a Trek adventure. And
that was also
but
weirdly enough to, my
yeah,
outside eye being fulfilled by the Orville at the same time.
I mean, I got thoughts, but I'm not going to go into those.
Season 5.
But,
So were you aware that the Strange New Worlds thing was in the offing
yeah,
when you were in the room?
yes.
Because obviously those should have coincided.
Well,
with
we
our
knew.
new-
Yeah, they have, the showrunners do kind of work with Kurtzman to kind of keep continuity in the universe, and they do talk a lot
Right.
about that. So, because you're just out there pitching whatever, and we get shut down a lot on pitches because, it's like, no, they're doing that over there. No, Prodigy's doing this, or all of those kinds of things. You wouldn't be able to get a certain guest star that you would like to have because they're making a deal for another show. So there's a lot of that going on. And Strange New Worlds was absolutely in the offing, as were some other shows which are, I think, now going to find their way, hopefully. But yeah, I was stoked about Strange New Worlds even then. I knew it was going to be good. And it was. It was amazing.
It is amazing how
Yep.
wonderful the show feels in the way where you go, well, this figured out the formula to update.
That's right.
Update and modernize without undercutting what is the basic feeling that differentiates Trek from all the other franchises out there.
That's right. I mean, they understood what the mission. They understood the assignment, and that isn't true. With some of the other things, they didn't care about that assignment, and that's fine too. But from just a straight up fan perspective, I love that. Just what you said, I think you put it very well. That they found a way to kind of bring what we love about Star Trek into our new sort of contemporary world, and they found that, and they really lean. One of the things they've done is just lean into a cast, where we know who these people are. Like we we have an ensemble that we are following.
Right, and it's not an easy thing to do to pull off an ensemble. Because certainly it's easier to focus on a singular journey or a very tight core or a relationship dynamic as your core, and everyone else is just sort of window dressing around that circulates in, which is one of the things that felt right off the bat about Lower Decks too, as far as building that core and not sacrificing any of that ensemble group as feeling part of a whole.
Yeah, I guess it is hard. It's hard to find. It's literally hard to find hey, look at those dudes.
I mean, we're back in that. We're still in that. Look at that.
Yeah, they are so unbelievable. Look at those wasp waisted,
But this is,
absolute Hans and Franz looking bros.
well, I mean, but it's Han and Luke. So this is the stormtrooper disguise of the two of them. But look at Chewie. I mean, talk about busting out of those manacles.
Absolutely. Chewie doesn't, his body doesn't make a lick of sense, but God bless him. That's unbelievable.
I mean, but it does look also like they're in the middle of a dance number.
I mean, literally everything that you've shown me so far has pretty much been, to my eyes, tableaus from dance numbers from like theater camp.
Yeah, or like
Like.
the Donnie and Marie show.
Yep.
Like this is 70s variety tableau right there.
Hilarious.
So yeah, this is another of that. I'm gonna say this is 96. Nope,
All
97. Right. Close.
Wow.
Same era we're dealing with. So yeah, I mean, I would love to leave them packaged in the tableau because there's something hilarious about that. But
I don't know what you're doing. You're destroying perhaps the best part of this. But I also want to. Also, is there color of their chest armor off?
Yes, I think that is aging. So it is
Just
slightly yellowed.
Yes, it's kind of nice two-tone armor, to be honest with you. I don't mind the eggshell.
There's something about the sort of walking pose on that. Yeah. The sort of in motion that feels most like a staged sort of.
They both got absolute juicy badonks. There's no question about that. They have not been skipping leg day, either of those guys. And
don't leave Chewie out.
I'm not leaving Chewie out, but Chewie is very hard to see his form. Also, his arm.
Till we get him out of the package.
It is, Eric. It's not like a dance. It's literally a dance. That's literally a dance number. Yeah,
it is. You know what? I think we've lost it in packaging today. And I think, we've lost the showmanship.
Yeah, whoever was in charge of staging these packages, they are underappreciated. I don't know who it was, but I imagine they are very active in their local community theater for sure. There was a period of time where it's like, Barbara has been she's absolutely killing it. I don't know where she comes up with it, but they've got a lot of action. And then I went to see her in Showboat, and honestly, I saw a lot of where it comes from.
Listen, I get it. I understand. She also brings cake to work every Monday, and it's
a lot of weird cakes. I think there's a lot of weird ingredients in her cakes. She likes to be adventurous, but she forgets that nobody wants to eat that stuff.
You know what? Also turns out paprika looks a lot like cinnamon.
Yeah, and it's not, Barbara. They're not the same thing.
You do not know. It does not. Granted, it's a kick.
I don't want to hear about your weekend in Big Sur, your cooking adventure that you had, because it's not okay. This is Derek's birthday, and you ruined it with this weird cake. Although I got to say, your staging of Chewie and Han and Luke. I don't know if I told you before. It's 1997, and we only have very rudimentary email. But I will tell you, it looked absolutely amazing. It was so good.
Did you see that note I left you on the bulletin board?
Yes. It has so much energy and so much passion.
I mean, if you were to fundamentally compare pre-COVID or post, like not Zoom, because Zoom is a weird aberration for all of us.
Yeah.
But when you talk about the ubiquity of phones and social media, how different is being in a writing room now than when you were like sitting in that Mad TV or Scrubs room?
Yeah. Well, I have a sort of standard answer for this, just because for me, it's like, this is it's functional, but not fun. you know, like you lose a lot of the fun of it. I mean, some people talk about the kind of delay, of it, when in the room, you try to get a joke going or get a bit going or get everybody on board with something. And the delay in the video, the literal delay of it, hurts comedy, or people are on mute and you can't hear them laugh, or like, it's just all of the dumb shit of Zoom is bad. But the very worst part of it is all of the second screening that's going on in a writer's room. It's already bad enough. There's always somebody just waiting for lunch, or like, are we going to do a coffee run? Anything to write, because writing is just one of the worst things you can do. And so, they're always looking for something. They're always trying to be distracted. Their phones are on the table. I mean, I've been in some rooms where like they don't allow phones, but that's gone by the wayside.
But when you started out on Mad TV or Scrubs, you didn't have.
No, we didn't.
You didn't have smartphones. Certainly,
no, you didn't have smartphones. I don't think we might have. We might have by then just started to have had them, but no, phones weren't a big deal. And stuff, and just the fun stuff that you get up to in the room, the feeling of being in a kind of clubhouse, where everyone's there together and you're just doing whatever. That's just it just doesn't exist in Zoom. You just can't get it. You just can't. I've never seen it, and I've been in a bunch of rooms now that do it, and I've not seen one that's really works great.
That has captured the.
No, I mean, the minute someone's like, "Okay, let's share screen," you're like,
but it's only to watch this cool YouTube video that they found.
Yeah, even that, like, we're supposed to just be watching YouTube videos constantly. That's what we're doing, or watching clips together just to be distracted and bored. And it's like, there's nothing worse than like, oh, let me get this. Are you guys seeing this?
The sound's out of sync.
The sound's out of sync. Or I didn't authorize sound for anybody.
Hold on, let me restart it.
Oh, it's just, it kills it. It kills it. But
no, it's really funny. It's worth it. Just you gotta see this.
It's so bad.
Oh, hold on. So and so just joined that. Let's restart it so they can see it.
We did on Trek. We did a group watch though of what was it? Is it Search? No. Undiscover. What's the one where they find God? What am I thinking of?
Final Frontier.
Final Frontier. It's so bad. and we
what does God need with a starship?
Yeah, exactly. But we did a really fun group where we just had a group thread up and everybody synced it and we all watched it at the same time. And
not live riff.
Just a live riff. And that was pretty fun. That was pretty
and
good.
No work got done.
Well, no, that was literally the day's job. That was what we were doing. So that was our.
So did anything from that group watch inspire or make it into an episode?
Absolutely. We do the movie episode, and so that one we wanted to use that movie as our,
jumping
off
point. Because it was the.
Yeah. So yeah.
Boimler got his contractually obligated.
Yes. So like it was, I will say that the OG draft of that, written by the very, very funny Ben Rogers and Chris Kula, was one of the funniest things I've ever read. It, there were reasons it got changed, and I love what ended up on screen, but the first one was just it was every beat and it was perfect, because that movie is so hilarious. It's inscrutable, but it's also a delight. It's actually it's the last kind of fun old school, like the old crew together, and they're all having such a good time, and there's a lot of really dumb stuff
it is. You know what? I think it's the best low key one of them.
100%
It was just, it's a hang. Like if you
It
watch
was a
the
hang.
campfire stuff, I
There's
love
so
the
much
campfire
physical
stuff.
comedy. Scotty running in to beams and
I know this ship like the back of my.
the relationship with Uhura. That's like, what? That was that. How did that? Did
But
that
when you're
get
talking about
removed?
that ensemble thing, everyone did get their beats.
Everybody.
Everyone had moments. You know, it may
Yes.
not be this, but you know what? I wonder how much of that also coming
Yeah.
out of Undiscovered Country,
Yeah.
not Undiscovered Country, coming out of why am I forgetting the name of the
Is that Search for Spock? Yeah. No.
no, well, I have to search for Spock. Star Trek 4. What is it? Undiscovered
It
Country,
is
right?
Undiscovered Country. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Coming out of that, which had humorous moments in it and had humor.
right. Yeah.
I think we were getting to the point in fandoms on something as established as Trek that they were not ready to loosen up. And I don't think everything works in Final Frontier. I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm
It
saying
certainly does not.
yeah. But a lot of that also was, it looks cheap and feels rushed. But as far
Yes.
as like the character moments, like stuff that you would have, like, you know what, it makes for a nice standalone episode of like, well, here's a breather episode of just
I mean,
having
it's
fun with this cast, but you couldn't, but everyone, because you didn't have a regular TV show. So
yeah,
those movies were special and only came along every few years.
that's
So
right.
to essentially use it all up on what is a character filler episode.
And it's a Shatner directed film, right? That's the Shatner
Yes,
one. Yeah.
that's the Shatner one. Is
And it's
Final Frontier.
it highlights the things that Shatner was kind of good at, which was, and what the OG Star Trek and maybe even regular Star Trek is, which is like, you know, the moments between the characters being friends and that relationship that felt really really real and authentic. And yeah, but the rest of the movie is, yes, a very cheap, weird, inscrutable, abortive idea.
Yeah, no, it also feels like we're going to tell a really big
I mean,
story
Uhura's
with really
fan
big
dance in
themes.
the desert is probably one of the weirdest moments in Star Trek history.
That's
When that's saying something,
yeah.
but unintentionally weird. But yeah, no, yeah, that was the one we thought
But
we
I
would
will
rip
take
on
that
this time.
row your boat, just sort of friends
Yes.
sitting around a campfire. I don't understand that the hate. I don't understand the hatred for that, because that for me is that's like the perfect
Yeah.
crystallization of those three friends
Yeah.
by that point in their lives and careers.
Yeah.
What do they think it is if they're just hanging around? Like, I'm glad we had some documentation in storytelling of a
Yes.
moment of those three actors in playing those three characters having a moment like that.
Yeah. I don't disagree, and I don't hate that moment at all. I think I get why people think it's weird, but I'm with you. When you upon rewatch, especially, I was like, actually, that's a really sweet moment, and it's actually pretty good. I mean, the rest of the movie is bananas, and doesn't make sense. But
Yeah, the rest of the movie feels very first drafty.
it feels very Ed Woody.
Oh, look at this. I mean,
Yeah. All right,
this
Annie.
is very loose.
Everybody can see that you've got good hips. That's ridiculous. Don't be a show off.
Oh, he's not going to have those for long.
No, he's not if he works like that. That's not good for your lower spine.
Let's see what. Yeah, wow. That's not as interesting.
No, he looks like a Muppet. He looks like Kermit dancing. Fozzie. Gonzo or something. Just loose, weird arms.
I can't control.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it certainly is built to last, though, as far as a mechanism, because I'm going to town.
How is it triggered? Oh, by his little leggies.
Yep, little leggies.
Squeezy.
Little squeezy. Yeah. Little squeezy.
Well, that's pretty fun. I like it.
I mean, it's a weird sort of cut your own head off move.
No, it's for sure not. I don't think that's smart with a laser sword, but I'm no expert for sure.
I mean, now it looks like he's in a performance of Pirates of Penzance. Whoa.
I just
And a little spoiler, he comes
yeah.
with Dooku's lightsaber.
Whoa, his weird bendy
How
one.
does he get it? How does he get the lightsaber? What happens?
Uh,
So that
second
means you can do
eBay.
maybe that's the thing, is that he's supposed to do that little double slice move when he
Oh,
cuts.
let's see that. No, I think that was
Well, now it's not
wishful thinking.
I
No,
mean it's sort of like he's sharpening the other blade.
he's sort of salt bayish a little bit right
The
now.
barber of Seville.
You get him to do a little salt toss.
Yeah, just a little bit of seasoning on the top. Yeah, these figures.
Oh, Kenneth, look at that.
I swear. Well, you know what? I think maybe we have 2 more things.
That's it.
That sound like a good run.
Yeah.
I think there's 2. We can go in 2 different directions. Your choice. We can. I'm gonna get these last couple of Revenge of the Sith open while you make your decision.
Okay.
There is a unique line from the 90s that they did, a little subline that I'm assuming was meant to be a bit of a deluxe version of characters. They did it in a weird way, is all I'll say. Oh, I'm
okay.
Out here. Sean is one of the wonderful folks that works at my local comic shop.
Oh, hey, Sean.
So he probably recognizes some of these figures as some of the stock that has gone out over the past couple of years. Sean is a big Star Wars fan. Not opening any Ahsoka stuff. Sean, sorry. Or we have a Star Wars creature.
What?
We could open.
That is a tough call. Gosh. I kind of want the creature.
Or you could phone a friend.
A phone a friend. Sean?
You can or if she's around, you could ask Audrey what Audrey would open.
I think she stepped out with the dog because I heard the alarm on the house go off. Unless we're having a home invasion. In that case, I'll ask the home invaders.
Well, you'll have documentation of it at least.
Be a good way to stall as they.
This is Vader's medical droid, I think. Yep. Vader's medical droid.
Yeah, it says it right there, Ken. It says directly what it is. Let me see it. Take it out.
I'm taking it at chopper droid. Well, that's not what you want to hear from your medical professional.
Let me.
Oh no!
My God, that thing flew out of there like a bat out of hell. Look at that thing.
Also spring loaded.
Yeah.
Put this.
Uh-oh. I could ask my dog. He's coming in here pretty quickly.
Now I'm super curious.
Yeah. Scout. I'll see. Hold on. Hey, Scout, come here. No, not interested. Home invaders have him. All right. I love it.
Medical instruments. Got some articulation.
God, that's actually pretty cool. Look at that.
I mean, if you like a good droid.
I do like a good droid. That is.
You got a base with a peg hole, but no holes in the. So. And he's not standing. There we go.
Here. Come here. Let's see if I can get him to. Scout. Scout, what do we want to do? Beast or deluxe?
One note of indifference for the beast, or 2 notes of indifference for deluxe.
All right, then I guess we're gonna do the beast.
Gonna do the beast.
Maybe that's because he loves the beast. There you go. He is a beast himself.
Okay, well we're almost to it. Let's get these quickly out of the way.
Well, all right. Senate security.
which it's not. It's the Royal
No.
Guard. But this is one of the
God,
weird
don't you wish
evolutions.
that was
One.
our Senate security? Like our dudes were dressed like that? It would be amazing.
Why don't we have nice things?
I don't know.
But
I would
cowboy hat.
love to take a
But
a
that with
White
like a
House,
cowboy
like
hat.
a Capitol tour, and there's just a dude in a full red robe.
Would you go for the red or the blue?
Oh, I'd go blue. I'm always gonna go blue.
You're not going to go with that cool little ridge?
I love the ridge. Look at that. It's like where you put your Yeti cup up at the top there. Look at that.
That's where your camelback is.
That's it.
That little pour spout for the tailgating they do after shifts.
I think even during shift, to be flatly honest with you, pretty boring up there, except for maybe once every, 300 years, one day.
Yeah,
But the rest of it,
those Zoom rooms. How much did you miss just snack access?
Look, I have snacks at my home. It's not the same as, because I can't have snacks here that I can have at work. That's a big problem. Like I'm here, if I have snacks I have at work, my wife's going to side-eye me. It's not going to be good. Like I don't get permission for all the Trader Joe's treats that are coming in. And I can't request them when I'm like, when they're, PAs going out to get stuff, I can't say, get some more of those chocolate cups, those dark chocolate peanut butter cups. I can't do that.
Or they're taking lunch orders from the sandwich place you probably shouldn't get the Cubano from.
You're just always eating an apple, berries, a handful of nuts.
How much of Zoom writing do you think feels drudgery because of sucking those weird fun sort of things that you could get away with at work?
A lot of it. I mean, no, I mean, I it's still a great job, and writing is always, it's a great job, and it is.
But it is
a lucky,
job. What's what
a
people
lucky
don't appreciate
job.
is that.
Yeah, that's true. But it's a lucky thing to be able to do, and all the rest of it. But part of what made it such a great job, especially in comedy, is being in a room with like the funniest, best people, and just having that day. It's like every day is like going, to that situation. And yeah, there's a lot of long nights and long, sitting there riffing on one joke for 3 hours.
A lot of that is dependent on the showrunner too.
Yes, and the situation, but what you really miss is the people and having those relationships there, those work. And I don't think that's any different than anybody else's. I mean, it is different than the people's work life, but we're all supposed to have a work world that we go to, and that's not our home. Like the third place kind of theory. And I think that's when you merge your like home and your work. That's everyone had the same problem. There's some good things about it, but one of the things you miss is just like the expanding of your life a little bit, because you just, you just get out. You got to drive somewhere. You got to go somewhere. You got to get dressed. You got
and see folks,
and be a normal grown up human being. I mean, on track, Mike would have us doing like 2 hours in the morning and then 2 hours in the afternoon. That's all we did, is 4 hours a day. But that was because you can't sit there for 8 hours on a Zoom. It's just insane.
And also, that's concentrated version of the socializing that leads to creativity in the room. Like that doesn't feel natural on Zoom. So you're not going to be around sort of.
Hell no. Nope, not fun. It's not fun. It's just, I think that's got to change, and it is. Although, they liked us going home. They didn't have to have a production office,
Well, that's why this current season, what you're missing out on, was all just sitting around Mike's house, away from the office.
Amazing.
We got a General Grievous we're opening.
I love a Grievous. He's an amazing, crazy, weird character.
So as we're doing this, let's talk about, because you have some Star Wars figures in the house. We talked about this briefly before we started the stream, but you actually have unopened Star Wars figures in the
I was
house.
laughing. My Audrey told me, like, you got to show this because. so here we go. This thing came to us through my wife's. She runs GeekGirlAuthority.com, which is a pop culture website, and the companies will send her things. So this let's see what this is.
And these are unsolicited promotional materials.
Yes, you get that.
This is the 50th anniversary celebration of Lucasfilm. So this was
that's what these are.
2021, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, they're like these guys, and there's like 20 of them in here.
So that's Star Wars Black Series releases for the anniversary.
Yep.
Some of which I don't have that one. I don't have a Qui-Gon.
Well, here's one.
But yeah, periodically the PR agency will send these out as like, here's our line. Right. Isn't this cool? Don't you want to talk about it? Don't you want to mention that we have all these cool things out?
Yeah.
But if it's something you're not into, it just becomes look at this thing that we haven't opened yet.
And they want her, so she's this little Ewok.
Is that Poplu?
That's Poplu.
Is that it's Poplu?
Yeah, he looks good. But yeah, that
is this the first time this has been opened since it arrived?
Ken, there's so much dust on this. No, it has been opened because Audrey, for sure, because part of the deal is they want her to do social about it.
Well, but she would have done it when it arrived. But since
she would have done it when
initial,
it arrived. That's there's so much friggin' dust on this. This is an allergy nightmare right now. That's what we're looking at. I mean, there's a whole other box around here that's like huge, and it's all just lightsabers. Like it's all different lightsabers and toys and stuff like that. It is kind of fun, some of this stuff. but it does build up around here.
And they're because they're not the only company that sends.
Oh God, no.
These promotional things.
No, I mean, between that and then like the other thing you get a lot of, and they don't do it as much now, that's actually changed, is the screeners. You get a lot of, like, during award season, you get sent, if you're in the unions, you get sent screeners to view.
What used to just be like stacks and stacks and stacks of DVDs and VHS tapes. And
yeah, that still is. Let me see if I have what I have over here. Hold on. I'm walking away. I'm sorry. What is this? What is this? Oh, this is another one. Here. Here's another one. Hold on. This one is
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
Now they've done that a couple of years, so we'll have to see what year that is.
Let's see what's in here. What's in here? This looks like a lot of toys. Here we have an Obi-Wan.
So that is not this year's May the 4th.
No.
That I believe is last year's May the 4th.
Yeah, maybe you have to send these to you, Ken. Here's here we have it looks like a Jedi. This is a Delta 7 starfighter right here. A bunch of little toys.
I mean, that may even be the year before last.
Yeah. He's a real super cute Grogu. Look at that guy.
Well,
I love Grogu.
I want her on the show anyway.
Yeah, get her on the show. You know what? She should really be here because, first of all, she should open these things. It would be good for her. Now, again, I'm not even digging into this. Is these are just the ones that I could see, but yeah,
I'm all down for any that she does not want. I'll be more than happy
Yeah. I don't
to
know.
free up the allergen space.
You know the one that I do love? Where are they at? Oh, these I got at the Disney store. Maybe you can identify them. I just love them. So these are like Rogue One, like metal figures.
Or
Do you know
like
these?
the die-cast ones they did.
Yeah, these are fucking awesome. These are so great. I
And they're
love them.
super heavy, right?
They're really these. If you threw this at someone, say there was home invaders in my house, this would be my first line of defense for sure. Would be chucking one of these.
He knocked the invader out. What was the implement? It was a Baze Malbus from
Yeah, that's right. Base Malbus. Oh God, I was so sad when he died, but I'm glad that he could save this overweight TV writer. Hold on.
So is that one of the few Star Wars things you have on display?
No, I have some. I have a few things over here. Oh, here's my favorite thing I have that I own that's Star Wars. And God, honestly, this is the place to show it. This I got from Gentle Giant at Comic-Con a few years ago. This is
Porkins.
This is my Porkins half sort of bust, and this is one of my prized possessions. I think this is truly one. Like you can't see it very well, but it is
William
so
Hootkins,
goddamn. Isn't he
R.I.P.
good? Look at that. Look at everything about that sculpt is so fantastic.
I like how sort of put out he is by having to deal with you on his face. Just the
I
fact that
understand it. Look, he's not that's not a I understand how it is when you're close binds a little bit. Look at that.
Yeah, this is
look
not comfortable for him.
Look at the spacers they've had to put in that vest around him. You know, God bless him.
And you know what? That helmet doesn't look comfortable.
No, it doesn't fit. His head is so big.
It's not even really safe because he can't strap it.
No. What else? You know what else is kind of fun? I like this. This is another Comic-Con exclusive from a few years ago.
Oh, is that a hologram Leia?
Yes. Do you ever see this?
No.
So great.
Oh.
She's so good. She really can't see because the front light's on, the ring light. But she's pretty great. Yeah.
So do they have sculpted ridges in it so it looks like that sort of striated?
Yep. Yeah. It's really, I wish maybe I could turn this light off, but I always try to go and get whatever con exclusive they have there. I love all their things, and stuff. And I've got quite a few of those. I like.
So if they got the Star Trek license, what would you want them to do?
Oh my God. Well,
you could have one.
I would love a Ponfar, like Spock, like full. You know what I'm talking about? Like on, like absolutely gone full ham Ponfar. That would be a dope.
Now, would that be one to have as like a swappable where you could swap out the arms and the head?
Yes. I would love that. What else would I love? I should give Lower Decks some love.
Yeah, who's your Lower Decks go to? Who's your favorite Lower Decks character?
My favorite Lower Decks character, I think Boimler is really, really fun. But the two dolphins.
But he's easy to write though, because you just watch Jack Quaid and
it's true. But he's endlessly funny. He's a fun character to write for. I think, to me. Also, what Billups, you know Billups. He's a sort of sad sack, and in my episode we had Billups in my app, but and I had an original thing where, like, in my episode, they were seeing fantasies, that would appear, from these stones. They would sort of become real, like their nightmares would become real and chase them, and stuff. And Billups' original nightmare was his ex-wife, Tina, who is like that. Everyone's imagining like Star Trek-y monsters, but no, this is Tina, and she's just real critical of his clothes and real critical of his weight. And that'd be pretty good. I'd have to think about it. There's so many. We have so much Trek shit, you know.
Is it weird to say that and realize that there's no lower decks?
It's very strange. Yeah. I mean, here, I'll show you my there's no lower decks.
I mean, you can't even buy a Cerritos.
There is a 3D printed Brian Bradley that I had done at a con. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Well, so you're opening for Wayne Newton.
Yeah. And we had one of Audrey's that actually looked really good, and then we had an earthquake and it fell off the thing and broke. But,
you still have the pieces though, right?
Yeah, they're somewhere around here. But it was pretty shattered. Yeah, I don't totally know why that is. You know, they just they're leaving it all on the table because people do, you know, especially younger people really, you know, they really love the show.
I'm surprised
I think they buy that stuff.
Community hasn't even stepped up because, you know, you certainly have a lot of 3D sculpting stuff out there.
Yeah,
Badgie, there's a ton of badgies out there. That you can download that and print out a badgie to your heart's content. And I know someone did a Cerritos model, which is odd. Usually at the base minimum, they put out a Starship.
Yeah. No. Why? And maybe I think there's just a little bit of, you know, there. I will say this. I don't know that this is true. This is completely unsubstantiated, but I do think there was a little bit of like, you know, some of the other shows did not do as well right away, you know, or they had a rougher start. And we have a lot of disco merch, actually. Audrey has a ton of it. But, you know, maybe they were like, we can't go maybe it was bad politics to go and make a bunch of, you know, lower deck stuff if they weren't even able to move the disco or Picard.
But Prodigy has all its characters up on pegs.
Yeah. Prodigy. You like Prodigy?
I did. I enjoyed in that same way that I like Lower Decks and Strange New Worlds, and that it felt like the spirit of Trek.
Yeah, exactly.
Which doesn't sacrifice adventure, doesn't sacrifice action.
Yeah.
You know, I have many issues with the sort of J.J. Abrams approach to Trek. Or even those early seasons of Picard, particularly that first season that leans so far into this is just depressing to watch.
Yeah.
But I wonder how much of that for us also is we live in a weird storytelling time, it feels like, where particularly if we're talking back to Gen X generation, we had a lot of storytelling that leaned into trilogies and multi-pictures but all those eventually wound up with a bow on them and a happy ending. But we are now entering a generation of nostalgia that brings those things back just to undo those happy endings. Like we live in a generation of undoing nearly every happy ending, bright future that we had narratively through this storytelling and all.
But it's done in a weird way because honestly, if you're obviously a comics fan, if you spend time with comics is constantly you're reinventing it. It's in a constant state of reinvention,
right?
For all of these characters, universes, worlds, rules, everything is really not everything, but is kind of up for reimagining, and we sort of more or less accept that in that universe, in that world, in that medium, you know. And I feel like in some ways that has come into our film and TV universe too, that this stuff is just on a continuum, and none of it feels particularly sacred anymore, and it's just sort of always up for remolding. And as part of me that feels sad about that naturally, and then part of me also, when it's done okay and done well, I'm like, oh, that's good, it's changing, it's morphing. It's not
right.
it isn't always the worst thing.
But I think it's also in the approach. When people talk about we're making it more adult, how do you approach that? How what is your thought on what is more adult is the thing that often
I came into Lower Decks, and my first pitch is I want Boimler to get addicted to Ketracel White, so that he because he's trying to stay up for a test, and he takes it to give him some energy and power because he's studying for this test, like Adderall or something. And then the episode is him getting jacked on Ketracel White and then going through that journey. And I'm like, that feels like a naughty Star Trek-y adult kind of thing. But they don't love that, because they want their that show's hamstrung by having, in some ways, by not being able to make fun of itself totally,
Right.
Like there's a right and a wrong way to do it. And that might've been the wrong way to do it, but I still think it would have been hilarious, but
and a total Boimler move,
in a complete Boimler move. It felt like him. And I just think it's like, I think adultifying things is okay, when it's done correctly and when it's done in an awesome way. I just think mostly what we're suffering from is there's too many cooks, there's too many people weighing in on it. And so sometimes really cool ideas that are fresh reimaginings from really smart people get destroyed because they get put into the franchise machine, and then there's a whole group of people that aren't even involved that are like, no, yeah, who come in, and then you're like, oh, that isn't even at all what I imagined.
Right. Or just the go-to approach when it comes to a lot of these characters is, okay, so in the amount of time they've clearly lost their reputation, no one cares about them. Yeah. They're no longer competent, they're forgotten. Is anyone that had like a nice sort of glide path after that of being respected, and it sort of sticks for a little bit?
No, it's pretty rough.
I'd love to see a story that just picks up with, well, you're still good, you just retired and this isn't your game anymore, and have a conflict come from, well, maybe we did things differently then, but I'm not a laughing stock, I'm not a joke right now, I'm not
right.
I mean, you can be a relic that isn't broken or compromised or no longer respected.
Well, you're speaking of like a Picard type of situation.
Yeah, the Picard thing was weird to lean that far into. Like, how far can we kick him down and wipe out?
You can't kick him because Patrick Stewart's bones are essentially made of newspaper and paste at this point. I mean, he's an old man, and he's an amazing lion of not just the stage and screen, but obviously of the Star Trek universe. But that's what I liked. I didn't mind in Picard that they allowed him to age, that they're like, he's just like what you're saying, but I wish it hadn't been sad. But I think at some point there were physical limitations. I don't know this for sure.
I don't need him to be an action. I don't need an action hero. I don't need.
Yeah. He was never an action hero. That's
the thing. Yeah. Like, I mean, we're not getting Frakes back and going, oh, well, he's not. Why isn't he doing the chair thing anymore?
We don't want him like walking around with a phaser rifle, like racking up a body count like he did.
We don't need Insurrection,
Nemesis and stuff.
Nemesis. Yeah,
like we don't want that. That's not what we wanted from him. He's that's not the kind of hero he is.
Yeah, but it's also weird just how far they leaned into. Oh yeah, you remember that big screw up that Picard did, and now no one respects him because he screwed everything up with his.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice. That's your Michael. That's what you get with a novelist. This is a novelist who I very much respect.
we're going full creature for our last thing tonight.
Yay! I feel
From the
so
Power of the
heard and
Forest
seen.
2, you got your Jack Stormtrooper,
Yeah,
who's going to be
look at
riding
him.
that dewback.
He's
But look how
ready to
great that dewback looks.
get astride a dewback. That's a good looking dewback.
I mean, you remember the dewback that we had as kids? That
Yeah,
was sort of that.
A melty brown potato.
Yeah. Hey,
This
kids,
is
melty brown potato time.
my God, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, it does. You gonna have some melty brown potato after this?
I'm not gonna say no to it if one is offered to me, but I don't think it will be.
Surely, hot dog on a stick offers melty brown potato.
Eric, you're not wrong about Leia. They absolutely a constant hero over
Look,
that
kids,
entire
look how much
time.
fun this is.
Oh my God!
Like origami. What is going on?
It looks like when you open that, it's gonna have like the discs to put into your your PC computer from 2006.
Yeah. It's what about the
this looks like a Dell product right now. Oh, look at him. God, that's good.
And he's sleeping. Look, he's sleeping.
Yeah, he does look restful.
Wake him up.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got so many ties.
Yeah.
So, is there before the strike happened?
Oh boy.
Can you say anything you have coming up or what you were working on?
Yeah. I was, as it turns out, I was finishing a movie for Nickelodeon Studios with my wife. We wrote together. I don't know what I can say about it, but it is a holiday adventure. And it was really fun. And we turned in a draft of that just before the strike. And we were sent to rewrite. And then on the day of we got notes, we went out to strike. So we're still in a perpetual rewrite mode.
You're still in the Viacom family.
Yes, I just can't quit you, Viacom. I can't do it.
No.
Yeah,
and you need to get back on Lower Decks because I need my ensign in there.
You need Ensign Kearns and the crew of the Carlsbad to come back. Yeah, that's what I was doing just beforehand. There were some other things I was doing, developing things, some stuff with the WWE, and I had produced a TV show on the new G4.
That sounds hopeful.
That's good. No longer exists. But I had spent some time last year with a friend of mine who was an EP down there and asked me to come and help produce this crazy fake game show. That was it was a completely fake kind of pretend parody game show.
This sounds like something you do when someone goes, they have money now. We need to just get something developed and get it. And
it was already in play. It was they had lost an EP and they're like, this thing is seriously, they were going to be shooting the pilot episode. I think I had a week and 2 days or something, and then and we had to get the show up on its feet. It was a little bit crazy. That was a crazy experience.
But you did it, right?
Of course, with Austin Creed as our, if you watch the WWE, as our host, and no Olivia Munn. No Olivia wasn't a part of it. We did have there though, like a lot of the OG, there's like Attack of the Show was there. We were Arena, which was an original, video game like competition show, although we had completely reimagined it, obviously, and it was fun, So that was a little different experience for her. I'd never done anything like that before. It was very sweaty. I never produced a live to tape. I mean, I've done a lot of multicam.
What's the weirdest on the fly decision you had to make during the production of that?
Oh my God. weirdest on the fly decision I had to make was probably we had built a 10 by 10 cornhole board, and we had Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch from the WWE competing with who? It was two gamers. It was like two Twitch streamers. I forget. No, excuse me. It was two NFL stars, and they were. It was Leonard
Wow,
Floyd
this
and
just
Austin
gets.
Eckler, and we were like,
You sure this wasn't a fever dream?
no, it is a little bit of a fever dream. And the bit was the final challenge, and they had to, instead of throwing like cornhole bags, into it, it was a table of ridiculous shit like that was like whole turkeys, an Xbox, a bag of diapers, there was a bag of hair. It was all of these different things that they had to choose from. And the big panic was like, there's a second chicken. There's a second chicken. Should we fly that second chicken in? Because the first chicken was so funny. Like, we got to get that second chicken in. And the whole room, I heard the word second chicken probably 35 times in a row. And
should we fly that second chicken in?
We got to fly that second chicken in. It was so good.
Now, if you could go back and tell a young Brian that one day.
Well, first of all, that wasn't a young Brian. That was the current creaky, dead-eyed Brian.
I know, yeah, but that's the one that's going back to tell young Brian.
Oh, hey, you're gonna
one
have
day.
To,
this is gonna be your life.
He'd be happy as a clam. Honestly, he'd be such a relief that he got to do something dumb.
Would he be happy with your decision? Did you fly the second chicken in?
We did not fly the second chicken in, Ken. You know why? Because I made a creative choice that one chicken was enough. Sometimes it's about the chickens you don't fly in, Ken.
Wow. So how does your younger self feel now?
He hates this guy. He's not a fan.
You changed, man.
You changed.
They had a second chicken, man. What the hell?
That was like, it was crazy. We also had a giant skee ball with Ron Funches and Matt Bronger, two comedians.
So
and we built. It was so good.
Remember what it is.
It was so funny
with those two.
And Funches was so freaking good at the skee ball. It was a 12-foot skee ball. You had to climb on top of it and drop medicine balls down. This thing, and the table was made, and there were scores where like all the Hollywood horrors, it was like kind of Halloween themed, and it was like Hollywood horrors, and the Hollywood horrors were like Your Agent, other people's success, like stuff like that, like the real terrors of Hollywood. And Funches was just a genius at it. Like he just racked up like 20 medicine balls in a row.
I mean,
so fun.
It's Funches.
Oh my God, he's so funny.
Look at this.
Yep. Look at that.
And it's unlike the old one. There's no trap door to shove your stormtrooper down into. He's actually riding this thing.
That's right. This lacks Barbara's staging, her choreography, but I think we win in the end because the sculpt on this Dewback is pretty great.
Look at the best part.
Oh,
look at that. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty tasty.
This is the entirety of my channel now.
Yep. Why are you doing anything else?
Oh, I don't know. I should have started with this.
What you really should be doing is have people come on here and tell entertainment anecdotes, but as these characters.
Okay. Then pick your favorite entertainment anecdote, and we'll have him tell it, and we'll let people compare. This is like one of those the magic of Hollywood moments.
It's so funny. Oh my God, he's so good. Are his eyes like reddish too? Are they kind of pinky or amber? Pretty nice.
They are. They have like a sort of like a dark burgundy.
Yep.
But a catch light.
Pretty good. Oh, Ken, look at you. Now, how many of these? I got to ask you. I'm looking at this, and wait, is that me? That's me. Oh my God, I'm becoming the Dewback. This is where it has become a fever dream.
This is one of those for your consideration videos now where
Dubak and Heisenberg together again. Dubak. I'm the one who knocks, Dubak. I'm the one who knocks. Oh.
Well, this is great. This is the only action feature I ever needed.
What? Yeah, you're done. You're done.
If people haven't enjoyed what has brought us to this moment, I don't know what possibly.
No.
They got to think about just what do they enjoy anything in life if they can't enjoy.
Look at him. He is honestly the most fit creature of anything that you've. I mean, there's been some jacked action figures tonight.
Dubak,
but this
like
guy,
a swole back.
Dubak is absolutely crushing it. His diet is pristine. I think
I work out.
I think he's in the box 4 or 5 times a day.
I'm in the zone.
Yeah, absolutely, Dubak.
I work out a lot.
Okay. My life. All right. You know what? It's a little aggressive. It's a little.
No.
Yeah, you felt it, didn't you?
No shame.
You felt it, dude.
Talking about my routine. Friends.
Oh my God.
Well, there we go. This has been what's great.
It's been a joy.
What's great about this now is that it's hard for anyone to plug anything. It's hard for people to share social media now.
Yeah.
Just in a
I've got nothing to share. Watch this Christmas movie when it comes out in 13 years.
Yeah, and you know what? It can be any holiday season. That's the great thing about what you've created.
It's true. Our hero is timeless in this one.
And do you have self inserts for you and Audrey in this?
No, we don't. I don't think we inserted anyone into it, and that is an absolute glaring mistake.
You already achieved the pinnacle. People need to watch. Where'd I put the lower decks? People need to watch that just to see what you were able to accomplish by wielding the power
of the written by credit, the true power of the written by credit.
Go buy the standard definition DVD.
Get out your old tube TV. It'll make more sense there.
Crank up your PS2.
And watch Ensign Kearns and the crew of the Carlsbad.
But there's no bonus feature. Is there bonus features on that one?
I don't know.
What episode? What was the title?
I don't know. It's episode 3. Here, what is it? Read the titles.
Okay, well, I'll start with episode 3.
I think it's episode 3.
Episode 1 is Grounded. Episode 2, The Least Dangerous Game. Episode 3, Mining the Mind's Mines.
That's it.
That sounds right.
That wasn't my title, but yeah.
Sadly, no audio commentary.
No audio commentary.
So you're going to have to record an audio commentary for it.
I'd be happy to. Oh boy, I'm going to spill some tea.
Let's do a watch along. And watch.
That's so good.
Any others you want to watch?
I've watched them all, sadly, in every form. The animation it's my only thing I've ever worked on that's animated, and the amount of times you have to watch the content is insane. It takes so bloody long.
So there are 3D sculptors out there.
Yeah.
Someone needs to make a 3D sculpt of Audrey's character that can be printed out.
I wish they would.
Regardless of whatever they're going to do in an official capacity. Listen, creators that are out there.
Yeah.
Start working on all the characters, sure. But
Ensign Kearns.
Think of the birthday gift.
Yes, please.
And also Kearns. Also, lawn ornament. You can print out 2 feet tall.
I think there's also Klingon snakes that are pretty good in that episode as one of the nightmares. They're pretty, or the Klingon clowns. I'm not sure.
And the puppets.
But yes. Oh yeah. And then the little Boimler in his sidecar. You know, I'm a natural passenger. I'll quote myself.
Is that your favorite line from the episode?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Everyone go watch Lower Decks if you haven't, because you need to get up to this episode.
Please do.
And then go beyond it. And then
watch
you
it.
know,
Enjoy it.
All need to start a campaign to get you back in the show.
And Ken, will you please have my wife come on here, have Audrey come on and open up all these freaking toys?
Yeah.
Or give it to you.
Only if I can get that Qui-Gon.
Oh, you want the Qui-Gon? That's what this whole thing's been about.
Yes, the Qui-Gon I had nothing about beforehand. This is
didn't you, or did you, Ken?
This is the long game, man. This is. I trolled her social media post from 2 years ago, and I found the obligatory post.
I did think this invitation came out of nowhere. This makes sense.
Roundabout. I had 2 goals. One was to get in a future episode of Lower Decks for when you go back to the show, which is inevitable.
All
Mike,
right, you're the best.
Well, everyone, check out everything that Brian's done. It's great. Go check out Scrubs season 9.
Season 9, Happy Endings, Mad TV, my various television shows and pilots.
Is there any social media you want people to go to?
No, I'm not on any of it. My Instagram is private. It's just pictures of my dog. Twitter is a
which we've seen now.
Swamp.
Everyone has seen.
They don't need to see the pictures of it. No, I'm not. You can't find me anywhere. I'm an absolute.
You know what? Where they could find you? They could find you here for the past couple hours in a wonderful conversation that I'm very happy. Look how professional this sounds as a wrap up. They found you here. We found each other. We found something special. You know what?
The second chicken.
We have the cheapness of the studios to thank for this time together.
Okay, and fly in the second chicken now. There we are. Good.
You know, you can't right the wrongs. You can't do it. You can't go back now.
Can't go back.
So what we can do is say goodbye to everyone in the best way possible. So
I do back.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God. You really have an unexpected voice.
I do.
You do.
Do you like this?
I did
one
not
more?
see it coming. But you know what? Now it all makes sense, actually. I didn't see it coming, but I see how it makes sense.
I'm an I do back.
You certainly are.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. See ya.